Uncut and After Show. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a Ko-Fi, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patrons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So, a massive shout of thanks and appreciation to Smith Tools and Purchase, Level Plain Poem, Amish, Vitali Z, Colton James, BG, Survive the Spin, Effie Patriot, On the Level, Thomas van der Zander, Gary Hughes, Measured Flat, Chris Wouters, Sea Level Cultist, Mitch Kennedy, Rod, The Name's Burley, Twodwazzle, Jason Hornsby, Christoph Fournier, Flat Earth Travolta, J Mels 24, Unimento, M, Iron 26, Endless, Golden McKiernan, Retro Bill, Michael Kahn, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Hairy Blade, Mobile Mac 777, Rob W, Del West Watson, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, Chow Young Cat, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand across to whoever is in Discord and G+, so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
Take the bones, and then
it all has similar vibes to like lands beyond Antarctica and ice walls and whatever Admiral Byrd was up to and Hyperborea. It has the same flavor as all of that. And as I was talking before about far more devious lies mixed in with truth, I just don't know about any of that.
Yeah, how many flat earthers still buy the Admiral Byrd diary, which wasn't even written by him?
I'm not sure I even buy Captain Cook's diaries at this point.
Yeah.
No, I think he's a really good navigator in that. So,
he was absolutely using the flat Earth to navigate using the stars. All these stories come either from explorers who are working under the auspices of the Crown or American military. It's just, I have no reason to believe a word of it at face value. And it seems like they are breadcrumbs leading you along a certain path. It's like an intricate puzzle that's presented to you, and you get a whole hit of dopamine when you fit the pieces together, and you suddenly think, oh, I've worked something out here. But who laid out the puzzle? Who gave you all the pieces? Why is it immediately handed to you the moment that you push through the first layer of flat Earth? Yeah.
Why would the authorities put a guy on TV to say all this stuff in the 50s and then just like never mention it again?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
It doesn't
I mean, the conspiratorial explanation for that is like revelation of the method, isn't it? It's like they got to let you know, they got to tell you what they're up to, like karma or something.
Yeah, how do you differentiate between revelation of the method and some schizophrenic conclusion?
Or just full-on psyops. Like those documents you found from, the beginnings of NASA, which is essentially them admitting that the entire thing was going to be a psychological operation.
Yeah, the Operations Coordinating Board, OCB, founded by President Truman after the war, was basically the president's PR campaign, because America, the Allies, had just won the war. They wanted to cement their victory and hegemony in the minds of the world. So the OCB was formed as a big psychological operations board. I mean, they even call it that in their own documents. And this board was responsible for creating, among other things, NASA. And you can read correspondence. Yeah. You can read correspondence between members of the OCB where they're discussing who they're going to nominate to be the first NASA administrator until NASA can get its own budget, its own people, and everything up and running. And they start naming like folks from the newly created Central Intelligence Agency from the OSS and said, we need these intelligence officers to be responsible for NASA. And then they can start getting their own directors after that. I mean, the whole thing is crazy. They talk about using NASA to advance peaceful operations, but also testing military missiles, Nike missiles, which are like nuclear bombs that they blow up in the sky to destroy waves and waves of Russian bombers. And we're going to give NASA control over these. And we're going to call them meteorological sounding rockets. It's all open and there. It's all on the nose. What's been publicly released, it just reveals enough to me to indicate that this whole endeavor of space was to project technology that we didn't have, to provide cover for weapons development. It's obvious.
Why? Why would you believe that any more or less than Admiral Byrd's testimony? If you see that they're lying about space, what makes you think that anything that comes out of their breadcrumbs or otherwise is of any value or credibility? In other words, why would you believe the weapons story over and above the space story? It's just bullshit as far as I'm concerned. Once the source is discredited.
Well, I mean, these are their documents. Of course, they could just be false breadcrumbs too. But given that this is mainstream and the mainstream has not picked up on it, is also interesting. So maybe it's another false trail for so-called truthers to slide down and uncover. But
Or create
who knows?
Or create the illusion of whatever it is they want to create the illusion of. Space is just one of those things.
It's all psyops all the way down.
Yeah, psyops all the way down, exactly.
And I kind of assume that they're simultaneously running, different groups are running operations on other groups within the government. Sometimes just for shits and giggles, and other times it's just confusion. Confusion is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen a show called Yes Minister or Yes Prime Minister? British show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they were often praised at the time it was coming out. And number one, for their ability to keep the show in line with current events, current affairs. So things that were actually happening at the time were put into the show. And the representation of how the permanent secretaries essentially ruled over the ministers. So there's a select few people that know what's best for the country, and then the voted in people, just they come and go, don't they? The permanent secretaries, well, they're permanent. So it's just an interesting look at the power within British government from obviously a fictitious.
It wasn't that long ago that the deep
70s.
state was a conspiracy theory.
Say again?
It wasn't that long ago, but the deep state, the phrase itself was considered a conspiracy theory. But it's
Maybe that's another psyop.
Well, no, it's just a word for lifetime bureaucrats and other aspects, like continuation of government. They talk about it in other names in positive ways, but for some reason it became a dirty word, or it was an indication that if you used that phrase, you were on the wrong side.
Yeah. Well, now it gives everybody a boogeyman to point at and to chase after, to try and uncover who the mastermind is behind the deep state operations. There may not even be one. It's just a bunch of corrupt grifters.
Not necessarily even corrupt, just people who perceive to have the greater good of the country in mind. So in the case of the permanent secretaries, they keep referring to themselves as merely civil servants. I'm just a civil servant. What? I'm just a lowly official in that regard when they're talking about their position, but their influence over the elected officials is unending. It's absolute. So
It's just a coincidence that we know where all the bodies are buried. It's just a coincidence.
it's always going to come back to some dude, though. The decisions that vastly affect everybody, it normally comes back to somebody. You can normally do your primary source research and find the beginning of the trail for all sorts of nonsense. You know, the way that we're governed is normally down to the laws, and then you look back at how they've been formed, some of them through precedent, some of them through men, and they decried this will be the case, and it is. But, you know, you can track it all.
Stupid fucking people. Jesus Christ, you're all retarded.
Somebody sharing their pain because they've come to a flat earth room. How quaint.
No swearing.
Just people, you know, people looking for power. At the end of any search, you won't find some gaseous head like the Wizard of Oz. You'll find some dothery old dude behind a curtain.
The legal realm is a long thread to pull upon. I mean, I don't know if you could really definitively say what the origins are, but much of it goes back a long, long way.
Indeed.
And there seems to be like epochs and battles within that as well, moving back and forth. And structures get set up and they run a certain way for 30 years. And the people who turn up at the end of that period just turn up to a structure that's operating. And this is the way it is. Not knowing where it came from and what lies were told or what deceits were put in place during that time. And then they turn up and they do that. And then they do their own deceits and lies and manipulations of things. And it just rolls on. And no one particular individual really knows what's going on.
Exactly. If you roll back time and went, well, let's blame Copernicus for the current nonsense of heliocentrism, well, would you really ascribe that to Copernicus? He came up with the model at the behest of the church, and it was very insightful, out-of-the-box thinking that could be admired. Did he think for 1 second that he'd have an entire Western world, and now almost the entire world, believing that they're actually standing on this reified mathematical sphere that moves around the sun? I doubt it. Because he'd be more intelligent to recognise his own nonsense in maths as being physically capable of reification. You'd expect him to have that level of intelligence when creating the maths from his own mind's eye at the behest of another individual or body of people in the case of the church. You don't think for 1 second that he would have come up with the maths and then gone, well, actually, that is the world. Like, we are actually on a ball moving around the sun because I've just made it up in this maths, therefore it is so. I don't think so. But because
I don't know if it's a counterpoint, but counterpoint to that is compartmentalization. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe some group who was directing that, maybe they did have grander ideas and longer term plans.
Well, what they just use someone else's information. Well, people always do. You know, it's a bit psychopathic, but just recycle someone else's information. Earth curve comes from the offing and better calculating where the horizon will be for mariners, right? Well, the calculations for Earth curve are lifted straight from that. You know, so why create new ones? Just nick the old ones. So reuse, repurpose. When you were saying about the systems and people finding cracks in them to manipulate and use to their own ends, nefarious or otherwise, right? They don't care that there's been blood spilt over the reason and wherefores for the crack that they've started to wedge open for their own benefit. They don't care. It's just that's the world they're born into, as you put it.
It seems to me that there is a through line, a thread to this path that we're all trudging along. Like, it doesn't seem to me that aspects... the deception gets more entrenched and worse. There's not a trend towards enlightenment as far as I can see.
It just could be pride getting in people's way. So somebody comes across this gross oversight, error, whatever you will call heliocentrism, and they've utilised it, leveraged it, endorsed it, and then they find out, oh God, actually, right? Then maybe they'll realise there's already methods and means in place to suppress that information. In the case of flat Earth feast of nonsense, as we call it. Maybe they don't, and they start putting in their own little feast of nonsense tidbit, slapping that on the table to make sure no one embarrasses them by exposing that which they've discovered when they look a bit into flat Earth. That is the birth of what we call anti-flat earthers, the people who generally debate us. They're already halfway down the rabbit hole of finding out it's flat. They just don't like it, so they brace against it. Well, they're just the individuals that will create rhetoric. When we're long dead, there's somebody amongst us now that's going to create a piece of rhetoric in the heliocentric model, if that continues and is perpetuated after we're dead, that will become part and parcel of the bullshit that lies, if we want to call them that. They're not quite, but the lies of the future people will be subject to through some piece of rhetorical garbage that someone we're talking to right now comes up with. In other words, it just makes its way into the mainstream rhetoric for heliocentrism if it's useful to deceive people and keep them on the ball and spare the embarrassment of those that leverage that particular control structure.
This is kind of tangential, but I said this before. It's like part of it seems like a meta ego thing. It's not just the individual's ego, but they have. It's like the standing on the shoulders of giants. These great men. Who are you to say that they're wrong? And look at all these things we're creating because this was right and this is what we're doing. It's not just an individual's ego.
You're saying it's the collective ego that's being defended, but the collective ego reflects the individual ego, doesn't it? In other words, if you want to project it out onto, well, if I am not the one that's fallen foul of these great men that I held on high regard or put on a high pedestal, therefore, I'm defending the collective ego when I come up with this numpty nonsense to defend heliocentrism. Mm-hmm. Well, ultimately, that's just a reflection of one's own ego. Would you not agree?
Yeah. I mean, similar mechanism, but just diffused.
It's projected, I would say, projected out onto the masses, of the masses that have come up with the ideas, if you want to then pinpoint someone to blame. Like, that's why I opened with, would you blame Copernicus? If you rewound the clock 500 odd years and started talking to him, would you say, okay, do you actually believe we're moving around the sun on a ball? And I bet dollars for donuts he'd be like, no, I've come up with the maths to better explain how these stars move around. That's it. That's all I've done. The unified model that better explains epicycles. If you were speaking to Kepler, that's probably what he'd tell you. He wouldn't say, no, I actually think we're on this maths. He'd go, it's maths. You know what I mean?
What do you think about the it was Pythagoras, wasn't he? He was the one who said that, sphere is the most perfect shape. Like the idea of deifying spheres goes back a long way, if you believe that thread of history. Pythagorean school of thought. So maybe there was a group of people who really desperately wanted to believe they're on a sphere.
Yeah, if that's the best explanation and they want an explanation, and the, what would you call them, philosophers, I guess, mathematicians, whatever you want to call them, come up with something that's reifiable. In other words, someone can say, yeah, I can imagine me being on the ball. Yeah, actually, I am on that ball. Because otherwise, I've got to keep asking, what is the world? Without explanation. So rather than being in a position where we just don't know, and that is therefore reflecting, I bet it's back to ego, reflecting badly on the people in charge, better to just put this in place. It's the best explanation we've got to date. And just roll with that. And then everybody already knows, nobody will be asking the question. It doesn't look bad on us that we don't know. So that's what they've rolled with, to keep people just from asking questions. There you go. We've already got the answers, the whole school of astronomy that can explain the complex world of those stars and what they are. We already know. Yes. Tap you on the head and send you on your way. Heliocentrism being a nice little cushy version of that as a control method for, like I say, tap you on your head, send you on your way. We already know all the answers to this. Heaven forbid that you were to view us as ignorant.
They very much, it seems like they very much want everyone to believe it unquestioningly, though. I mean, with the Jesuits turned up to China Tell them all that sailing around you did using the stars, that was definitely on a sphere. Even though it worked before you knew this, you must know this now. What motivated those people?
I don't know. It appealed to motivation fallacy for me to even suggest an answer to that question.
I mean, the end result of that action is to convince a whole bunch more people that they do in fact live on a sphere. We can see the results.
Yeah, the results, but not necessarily the motivation to achieve that, even by the author, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. It's just a curious point of history. These things happened. I don't know. I enjoy my conspiracy theories. It's entertaining.
Is this Conspiracy Wednesday today?
I need some new ones because they all keep coming true.
Decided to make an unexpected or unannounced visit to politics today, Neil. So be on your best behaviour.
Oh, I was in there earlier. Isn't that something?
Hopefully it won't go too quiet or I'll start talking about microphones.
That's illegal on a politics server.
Is it illegal to talk about microphones in here?
Against the TOS.
Is it really? You can't be serious.
No. Almost talk about anything you like. Almost.
Okay.
Wasn't the
Try and
guy
keep it
in here that
focused
was
on the
on
flat
Mount
earth, though.
Everest?
Yeah. He claimed to
Said he
be a
saw the
Nepalese
curvature of
man
the earth.
who never had an education.
There's a guy in here claimed to have been on
He
top
said-
of Mount Everest.
Yeah, he said he seen the
Yeah.
curvature of the earth from Mount Everest.
Okay. No, not since 2020, mate. But is he around? What's his name?
No, he's wandered off.
Oh, that's a shame.
He didn't like talking about gas pressure. That was upset him.
Black Swan in terms of his assertion, right? We haven't had Earth curve assertion since 2020. It's debunked.
He just wanted to be a tiny earther.
Fair enough.
Just a wee small sphere.
Okay, so just for the guys who are in here that aren't familiar with me being here, because it's Thursday rather than Friday, I do actually run a live show. In about 10 minutes' time, we'll go live. So I do ask, please don't swear. It's only an hour or thereabouts. If you did have any questions, Flat Earth related, wonderful. Ask them in the next hour, they'll get an answer. That's it.
It's discrimination against Australians, I'd like to point out. That is part of our language and our vocabulary, and you're just trying to suppress us.
Yeah, nah. I don't care about the Australians.
Oi!
I'm
Hello,
only
everyone.
joking. I love you guys, really. You're awesome. Almost as good as the Kiwis.
You're our long lost cousins, mate. When we got shipped over, when our family got shipped over here as convicts.
You think that's true?
Most of my family turned up after World War II, so...
No, but that whole bullshit story about the Aussie population being predominantly ex-Brit convicts, you hear it all the time. I've never done any primary source research on that particular narrative, but is that actually true? I would suspect not.
There's a lot of
I went and
there's a lot of paperwork that yeah, but anyway.
I went and had a look at Port Arthur and a few of these places. Used to be called Van Diemen's Land, and seems to be pretty legit, yeah. But there was also a lot of officers and other people that were brought over other than convicts that wanted to start over here, I think.
Right, so is it any more true than anybody else that they've just taken that one aspect that might be true for dozens of other places in the world and just spun it out like that's your story?
I don't know. What I've seen looks pretty convincing that
Fair enough.
majority of what we're told occurred, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's court records and that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know, like much of history, you got to keep a skeptical eye towards big claims.
That's what I asked. Typically, I'm quite history skeptical.
Timelines of like populations here and what was built when. You know, you've apparently got 15,000 convicts and are supposed to be building these giant stone cathedrals and I don't know. Stuff goes on.
Oh, the Erie Canal is crazy. It's quite a mystery. Like, I don't think that was built the way they say it was.
It's a whole rabbit hole of its own, to be honest, but it's one well worth diving into. So many buildings which were built by American settlers who lived in little wooden log cabins, but then built these huge sprawling cathedrals that we couldn't build today. Like, look, you literally, not with any money that existed or technology existing today, you couldn't build rather what was built in the 1800s by people living in, little wooden cabins, fitted in wooden boxes at the end of the garden. Sounds likely to me.
Well, no one's challenging you on it, so I would if I knew anything about the subject. Typically, I'm quite sceptical of such claims, but as it's not flat Earth related, I'm just going to let it go. Raised by goats.
All good.
Maybe that's what
My dad was
want you to
actually
think.
my dad was actually born in Leeds in England, Nathan. How he ended up in Australia or born there or what happened, I got no idea.
I thought you were about to say my dad was actually a
Fantastic
convicted
city.
criminal. Proper crim.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, that would be in my family.
Leeds is an amazing city. Spent many a year in Leeds. Not quite what it used to be, mind you. All the bars got replaced with trendy gin bars and Instagram locations. But yeah, for years, I lived in Leeds. Great place. I'd always like to think of myself as an honorary Yorkshireman.
How are you?
Welcome.
Good.
Good evening.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. We're having to be on our best behaviour, as I say. We are making an unexpected, unscheduled visit to politics today. So, be on your best behaviour if you're in my G+ panel. I'm sure you will. Should I say it twice? But that means we'll have the typical Friday roll into what might be a fantastic show. It might be lots of dead air. And given that I'm not in control of politics, I don't have any mute button here, it might be the case that we have protracted silences. We might have a really good show. We'll see.
When you say best behavior, what do you mean by that? No swearing, no leaving your mics open if you're not speaking, etc., etc.?
Yeah, don't feel
Don't
compelled
interrupt. Don't overtalk.
Exactly. Don't feel compelled to overtalk somebody when they're in the middle of a discussion with someone else. Best behaviour. You know what best behaviour is. You're telling my live audience in case they join Discord. Oh, that reminds me. If you're in my live stream, please, Divergent Droid, if you can pop a link to the politics server so my live audience can actually join this server. Fantastic server that it is. That said, we did have somebody sharing their pain in the pre-show. Join just to tell us we're all idiots and then get immediately removed. But if you did want to share your pain via the politics server, you can click the link that's going by now in the live stream chat. So you can express your views on the nature of Earth, like I say in the intro.
Well, one thing I want to say,
Nathan.
Hold on, Neil. Go ahead, Apocryphon.
Hey, good morning. Hey, I was last night after Jaren's rant for like 4-minute recording you put on the Telegram. I was wondering maybe you should do a moderation for Witsit versus Jaren. Now that Jaren's a full-blown glober.
I thought Witsit was too, actually. Didn't he release a video saying Earth's flat after all yesterday?
No, it was kind of he went into it. It wasn't that he's saying it's a ball. It's just saying that he was just saying there's topography, but he was trying to say how Earth is, topography, but the water's all level, flat. He's still a flat earther. No way there's a ball. And that matter of fact, if you listen to that video, I'm pretty sure you guys will dissect it. But he breaks it down. But it was kind of like a clickbaity type thing. You know what I mean? Just to get them in there. I don't know.
I don't know. I watched the first 2 or 3 minutes of it and he was just stoned to all hell, and it irritated me greatly how stoned he was.
Yeah, right after that point, then he goes into, okay, let's talk about the title. And then, well, he actually says that like 3 times, I think. And then finally he talks about the title. And then he gets into it. He's just saying, no, the Earth is measured flat and it's, everything about it. It's just that the topography. And he even goes a little biblical with it. Like the Earth is the Earth, the ocean is the ocean, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's nothing there to really review because it's not like we like him or are interested in his flavor. There's nothing there. I don't know if he was, he said he wasn't stoned. So, take from a liar what you will. But, the Earth is not an object thing. So weird to me.
Earth is not an object. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, that was Mark. Well, he's not the first.
Oh my God. Can't hear what you're saying. Just take the pillow off your head.
Sorry. Well,
that was funny.
Can you hear me?
Just about.
MG42 Pillbox, remember him?
Yes.
Well, he explains that the Earth is not an object because it's not like something you can conceive, put in your hand. It's not like other objects with dimensions that we know of. Specifically, it's not an object because we don't know the dimensions of the Earth. It's just the Earth. I just think it's dumb because it's like it's obviously something. The Earth is something. It has dimensions. We just don't know it.
So in order for it to be an object, you got to be able to put it in your pocket? Really?
I can kind of see where he's coming from. I could also see why someone would take umbrage with it.
Sounds kind of hippie-ish, new agey. The Earth's just like a thing, man.
It's just things that they say. Sorry to cut you off. It's because that's the kind of thing that's like not necessary. You know what I mean? It's like somebody hears that and people go, "Oh, this dude is nuts." It's like, why? I mean, you could do what you want, but it's like, bro, whatever.
Let me ask you a question. He said it was measured flat. Did he get into any detail, or he just said Earth is measured flat? I mean, what is that?
Well, other than photography, he explained it's not flat like 2D, but obviously with respect to a horizontal plane, because he's like the Earth is land, the land, it's the Earth.
Right.
That's not. And it's like, yeah, but also explain that when we say it's flat, we're talking about horizontal, straight. The Earth itself, like a table, would be horizontal, straight, level, or like a building structure. The floors would be horizontal, level, straight. That's what the Earth is.
Mean sea level. Like, it's not just about the land. Like, a lot of the argument is comes from navigating the oceans.
Sure. How high or low the topography is in terms of hills and valleys is with respect to a completely horizontal plane of reference, though. In other words, every undulation of the land. It's respect to perfect flatness and how much it is above or below that perfect flatness everywhere. Earth is flat. Just in case there's anybody in this Discord server that was under the misapprehension we were on a ball. We're not. The perfectly flat Earth that we utilise to measure has created that ball belief that you still hold. Just in case anybody in here was under that misapprehension, know this. Earth is flat.
You
The
want me
only
to
way you
read
could
to you
build
what he
upon
said
it.
exactly?
Say again, Apocryphal?
You want me to read to you what he said exactly?
Who's he?
What's it? Like his
Yeah, sure.
exactly. He goes, so Earth actually, because I'm reading the transcript. So Earth actually means land in the scriptures, and he talking about the Bible. Yeah. Anyway, the land is in fact not technically flat. It's land as topography, and that land comes up and out of the water. The Earth is not an object, just not what to let you down globers piled in here thinking I was going to just somehow do a 180 and miraculously forget the plethora of falsification of the heliocentric globe model because the sun did a circle around my head. And all of a sudden, I forget the physical geometric falsifications of the presupposed radius value of the fairy tale that is the globe model. That's incorrect. I would just assert in affirming the consequent, if the Earth's a globe, the sun would do a circle around my head. Sun did a circle around my head, therefore a globe. That I would just shift the burden of proof over to a Saint Man model of flat Earth, a strongman model of flat Earth, and I would suddenly just start hand wave dismissing geometric falsifications of the positive claim on the table. That I would forget the phrase that I coined, which is falsification is independent of replacement. So he does go on. I'm just reading his whole transcript.
Sure, but
he's pretty much
the bit I focus on was the opener where you said it's not flat, right? You got to pay attention to the words. So he's creating the illusion with what he said that he's still a flatty, but the words that actually crossed his lips in this regard were not flat, weren't they?
Right.
Right.
Correct.
Interesting. Did Nathan do push-ups or have any strawberries today? Says Tuberticus. Am I saying his name right? Chooberticus. Tuberticus. Yeah, I am. Thank you very much for the $100. Wow, big super chat again. No, I didn't do any. He's alluding to me being like Witsit to gain more subs. That is, if I sit here stoned talking about how many push-ups I'll do, going, hey, I might get to move in this mic. I had trouble setting up OBS today. No, I'm not going to do those things. I don't care if my professionalism versus Witsit being stoned doesn't afford me more subscribers, so be it. I'll just accept that. Thank you for
but Elijah's right. He did go on to say that the Earth's not an object, and he kind of was like talking about that for a bit. So yeah, Elijah was right about that.
Yeah, fine. I mean, we've dealt with Witsit. We've reached out to Witsit. We've tried to educate him. He's obviously utilising certain aspects of how he falsifies their globe assertion with an affirming the consequent. Good. It's nice that he's using decent arguments, or at least pointing out their failures in their fallacies. It's not really making an argument. His argument is not flat, from what I heard. Maybe there's other bits in that very tedious stream watching him wrecked, talking about how it's not flat, but fine. If there is, great. If there isn't, I don't care.
Yeah, actually, right here, he goes, there's a lot of people that don't understand the actual proper argumentation of or position of flat Earth. It's pretty simple. The land itself measures to be a topographical plane. There's deviation from the horizontal, and of course, it's the land. It's surrounded by water, which also horizontal, and we measure elevation as a vertical perpendicular to that. Horizontal, and without this understanding and application of this understanding, we could not do almost anything that we do in reality.
Beautiful.
You know how like the transcript from YouTube is sometimes weird?
That's fantastic.
That's kind of what's going on.
Well, props to Witsit then, because that was very eloquently put. So kudos, 1 point. Excellent work, Witsit. If that's how you're phrasing it, exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. 1 point.
You could kind of view some of that as digging the knife in of Jaren. You know, don't expect me to make a 180.
That's why I was kind of like, poking it earlier right now with Nathan at the beginning. Like, that'd be cool if you did a moderation, like a debate. You were the mod of Jaren versus Witsit. Because I don't know if you guys heard his rant last night. It's like 4 minutes long, but he is Jaren. He is full on Glober now. Like
another rant.
He's always been a glober. We were pointing this out years ago.
Well,
it's just while we were pointing it out, Jaron was telling his perceived flat earth audience that we were scammers. Well, we're like, the guy's a glober. Listen to what he's saying. Listen to who he's talking to. Listen to who he's agreeing with. Right? No one listened. We were just called scammers. But yeah, fine. He's what, a full-on glober? No, he always was. Sorry to cut you off, Apocryphon. My bad.
Yeah, true. I stand corrected.
He was an AE mapper or a glober.
No, he wasn't. He took that position for the sake of
an
going
AE
to Antarctica
projectionist,
so he could relinquish it as a straw man. But he already knew, we've pointed this out too, he already knew the AE map didn't work. Somebody from here went and held him to task on it, and he was like, you're just making it up. And then he went, oh, what, because it was off by an hour? It's like, so you're acutely aware then. Yeah, Jared already knew it didn't work. He just took that position so he could burn it. Well, that just speaks volumes about what Jaron is.
He's a scammer. He's the scammer.
Right, I wasn't going to say it, but if you want to look at it that way, he's disingenuous at the very least. Anyway, yeah, full-on glober or otherwise, in the last few years, I've always tried to appeal to Jaron because he's perceived to be a flat earther with a decent enough audience. Therefore, I've wanted him to have good arguments, and he's braced against every one of them. So me pitting him against Whitsitt, well, when you hear Whitsitt paraphrases describing the topography and how it's measured from a plane, you're like, maybe it would be a pretty good battle, because he does know his stuff by the sounds of things. Whitsitt, that is.
Yeah. And then they're buddies, they're like best friends in the world, in the circle of it all. So that'd be interesting. It's only a matter of time before that happens. It has to happen eventually, I would think.
We were talking conspiratorial in the pre-show, right? And there's this idea that there's this underground hidden hand force that's controlling it all. And I'm like, no, it's just dudes doing dude stuff. But by the same token, if you see the arc of people who are allegedly the leaders of this flat earth community, and then the ones that are the shysters and the bullshitters are the ones fighting with the ones that have turned tail 180 degrees, you're like, does this not seem like a charade, banana court, whatever they call it? Soap opera, yeah, that's a better one. Doesn't this seem like a soap opera to you? Does to me. Meanwhile, Earth's measured flat. That's what we deliver. They're scammers, is what we get when we go and present that information to people like Jaron. And indeed Whitsitt, who's called me a grifter in the face of that. When we point out lies about ether, we get called scammers for that also. But there we go. Enough of me moaning. Earth is measured flat. That's how it's dealt with. The globe has come from those measurements. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes about it. Not behind a paywall. You know what I mean? Don't have to buy any vitamins.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Chocolate. We're in politics. Be on your best behaviour.
Because I'm usually some rowdy, crazy person, right?
Absolutely, without question. Tie you down.
Good morning, politics. What's up?
So I've come in on the Thursday to see if there's any ballers that were here unexpectedly, because I wouldn't be expected to be here. There must be ballers in here. It's a 24/7 flat earth room.
I've had a couple through, but that was earlier. It's been just us flatties having a chat for a while.
Fair enough. I don't mind. I'll take it easy then.
I don't even know if there are any globers in the room. I'm not familiar with everyone here.
I can see at least one, but I won't out them because they're obviously not comfortable, entering the pit.
What's your story, Raised by Goats? It's not the first time I've seen you. Do you normally go by that name? Hey, Yorkshire lad. What's your story?
Oh, sorry. Talking to me?
Yeah.
No.
I've seen you a few times.
Honorary Yorkshireman. It's something I got into maybe a few years ago. Started taking a proper look again more recently, and came to the conclusion the heliocentric model is absolute rubbish. I haven't yet been able to figure out, quote unquote, what it all is. But as sure as shit, no, it isn't what I learned in school. I've got a P900. I took it to Lake Windermere to try and do my own longer distance observations. You know, don't listen to anything we say. Try it yourself. I thought, well, I will do. Because a second-hand camera is about 400 quid. And yeah, it seems pretty clear and obvious. Water does not display convexity. We are not on a ball flying around the sun. And you feel a bit silly you ever thought you did. Would probably be the short version.
That sounds familiar. The origin story triggered no one. There can't be any ballers in here. There's no way an origin story like that can not trigger a baller.
No, things are different now. They will not come out to play.
No, just might not be any. It might just be predominantly flatties in here today, Neil. It doesn't necessarily follow just because I've come in unexpectedly. The world doesn't, quote unquote, revolve around me. So, the fact that I'm not here on a Friday doesn't mean much.
Not saying it does, but they very rarely come around anymore. They all hang out together in one little platform. You'll find them there.
They're all in one echo chamber somewhere.
Yes, an echo chamber. What they accused us of being all these years, they have become.
Well, I don't mind. If it's easy going in today's politics stuff, it just means I get an easy Thursday. I'll go make a coffee. Doesn't often happen while I'm live that it's this relaxed.
Not just an echo chamber. They're globe gangsters.
Yeah, but gangsters have some, power. They do some things. They don't just hang around with each other and chat.
Yeah.
Come and try their rhetorical tricks every now and again. But they have nothing. Empty words and beliefs.
Yeah, it seems
Well,
like they perfect. They're not coming in. Like, what's going on with Globers?
Well, that's what the Everest guy said this morning. He just can't believe the Earth is flat. And it's not about a belief, but they're so quick to throw that away, but yet believe something that they've never experienced, which is the globe.
When literally
It's like saying,
all have ever
I
experienced.
just can't believe.
So what you're saying is that they really got the globe gangsters name correct. It's fairy tale gangsters.
Yeah, but why are they so quick to just hold on to that? Was it because they learned it in school? Like 2 + 2 is 4. So you also learned that you live on a globe. But with something they never experienced, but they'll hold on to that like it's reality. When you're trying to demonstrate reality to them, no, I can't believe that.
I have to
It's
change
pride.
rooms while I'm
They
getting
can't
a cup of
believe that they
coffee.
were fooled.
Sorry, I'm moaning at Eli. Go ahead.
Oh, it's pride. They're just upset that they were fooled and they don't want to believe it.
Yeah, I stepped away
I
for a
can't
second.
believe. Sorry.
I was going to continue moaning at Eli. It's like, why'd you change rooms when I said I'm going to step away for a sec? Then I have to come back in to let you into the G Plus hangout. Bing bong. I'm like, bloody hell. I got to wait for the machine to warm up, and it's really quiet in politics today. Normally when I join, unexpectedly, there's a full-blown row going on. Can't always hit gold.
Yeah, start treating you like Earth curve. We would expect to see Nathan on a Thursday. Maybe you should have tried Land of Misfit Toys today.
It was a choice of either or, really. Politics is I don't want to say better because that might offend the people from. Don't call them the Land of Misfit Toys anymore. They might take offence. That's QE's name for them.
Used to it. Sorry.
I was going to say the land of misfit toys. I thought he meant the Globers that went there, but he went on to include the people there too. So it is kind of offensive.
Yeah, Earth Awakenings, politics, they're both good servers, right? But typically politics has got more people in it. So why not?
You would think that politics
Is it
would
every?
have more. Sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead, Reg.
I was gonna say, is it getting cut in half now that Nathan Oakley come in town?
No, there's still plenty of people in here. No more or less than before I got here.
Yeah, but usually half of will be Globers.
Oh, are you
Nah,
saying?
I was in here 2 hours ago, and it was very mellow. There was only one guy claiming he saw Earth curve from Mount Everest.
Yeah, they only really troll. The thing about these spaces, Discord, X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, you kind of gotta bring the people. That they're not just going to show up. You know, when we first showed up to politics, the crowd was already there, and we won the day. I mean, people totally get it. They're like, "Oh yeah, measure flat." Even the normies in there, they're like, "Yeah, we got these resident politics mods that have been trolls for years, and you guys showed them what's what." I don't know if I fully grasp what you guys are talking about, but it always seems like you guys know what you're talking about, and they're always trolling. So, I mean, we've done what we came to do. It's time to find a new place.
No. I've absolutely, without question, still got purpose in politics, right? So in 2025, generally, I'm talking about science, what it is, for the purposes of identifying what it isn't. So recently, I've been digging out certain examples of exactly that. Yeah, I'll give you a clip, right? Here's an example. So, a few buttons so it can come through to the audience as well. Right, here's an example.
Well, it will seep out and it will lose all its pressure because of the metal shrinking and what's happening to the butane in there. I'm not too exactly scientifically sure on it, but that's basically it, man. Like,
okay, that's example number one, and here's example number two.
Did the mod and then recorded again. I have drums, bass, electric, and acoustic guitar. This isn't exactly the most scientific test in the world, but the results are pretty clear and consistent amongst all the instruments, so I think it still lets you hear the difference pretty well.
Okay, so I'll play the first one again because it was half cut off.
Can leave a butane can out in the freezing weather, it will seep out and it will lose all its pressure because of the metal shrinking and what's happening to the butane in there. I'm not too exactly scientifically sure on it, but that's basically it, man. Like,
okay, so what I'm identifying here is people suggesting that stuff that hasn't been measured accurately isn't quote unquote scientific. Now, the illusion would be that if you've got a really accurate measurement by the milliliter of how much gas has leaked out of these petrol lighters, you can tell me that is scientific? Or by the virtue of the other dude, if he's going to start describing his modified microphone and give really accurate measurements in an anechoic chamber, does that mean that that's scientific? Because the illusion is that, because I'm just doing it in my bedroom, it's not a scientific measurement. It's like, well, no, being in an anechoic chamber won't make it a scientific measurement, but that's the creation of the illusion that we're all under. That when people say science, it means they've got an empirical outcome established through cause and effect reasoning with the scientific method. It never is. But that illusion's stolen by heliocentrists to suggest that it's the science of the world moving around the sun. No, it isn't. It's hijacking this methodology, that's the scientific method, to create the illusion of empiricism. So my purpose coming in 2025 to politics is to make sure everybody knows exactly what the scientific method is. So we're hoping, or you, like with Flat Earth debate back in the day, to hear somebody make that claim. Any scientific evidence of a heliocentric ball Earth?
The two globers we
Now,
had
you
in
know-
here today kept on using the word science, but just with no understanding. You struggle
you're
to get them to
absolutely
even
right.
listen to what.
Eli's
on, man.
rumpusing
Go
you. Go ahead, Eli.
That's right, I'm done.
You're right. What science is versus isn't seems to be the hardest thing to cross over, because people kind of just want to. I mean, they think that knowing the Earth is flat is good enough. They still have hangups as far as what they call science and not science, and they think it's policing when we tell them no, correctly. This is what you say. This is not what you say. This is science. This is not science. This is a correct term. This is not a correct term. Like, people are still uncomfortable with that correction. So I think in 2025, this is the most important.
Right. I'm
And
going to give you.
logical fallacy. But maybe we'll do 2026 logical fallacy.
Well, we're in 2025 now. The time is now. Here's another example, right? Hopefully, you guys in Discord can hear this.
So, what are we going to do? We are going to do microphones. Now, it's not science. This is not going to be a science. I think even if we had a singer on every single one emulating it, still not a science. I was just thinking about this earlier when we were talking about the best way to present.
Yeah. So again, it's the illusion that, oh, right, because we're just doing a general measurement of this stuff, it's not science. And then he says, even if we had a singer on every single mic, you're like, he's creating a more elaborate scenario, and then he goes, well, even that's not science. And you're like, what? So if you recorded each singer into a sound box and played that back through the same speaker in the same environment every single time for every single mic and every single measurement, would it be science then? No, it wouldn't. None of it's science. But because we're all bullshitted with the use of the words of science so often, more often than not in terms of lies of heliocentrism, the world moving around the sun, you need to know what science is so you can identify what it isn't. So what is science? The elucidation of the cause of a naturally occurring phenomena. You see something happening in nature and go, I wonder what caused that. Then you suppose a cause and vary it to see if it causes it. If it does, that's you validating an experiment. That's your empirical evidence. If it doesn't, you've still got empirical evidence. You validate your null hypothesis. A didn't cause B. So at the end of scientific methodology, you have an empirical outcome every single time. Therefore, that is used by bullshitters to pretend that they've got empiricism when they tell you your tyres grip really well or your hair will be super shiny when you wash it with Timotei. Here comes the science part. No, it isn't. It's all lies to make you think that someone's telling you something that's empirically true. This will empirically make your hair shiny. You'll empirically grip the road better. No. You've come up with a chemical. You've made some measurements. That's not science. Science is the elucidation of naturally occurring phenomena through use of systematic experimentation. Experimentation is the variation and manipulation of an assumed cause of the effect, varied by you, the researcher. That presumed cause must be real, it must be the presumed cause in your hypothesis, and it must be capable of variation and manipulation by you, the researcher. Upon variation and manipulation of your presumed cause, if the effect is induced, you have validated the cause of the effect. That's it. That's science.
In the general public's mind, though, the word has been watered down. It doesn't have rigorous meaning for most people. And people they often use it to mean that they're being rigorous in whatever testing they might be doing. Sometimes they mean the state of the art. Very rarely, for the people the Globers that I encounter who come in here, would they ever even say the words the scientific method.
Awesome. I'm going to use that as my title for today. State of the art science.
And
as much as it is easy
everywhere.
for me to summarize science in a concise way. It takes a long time to actually learn it, hence it's worth coming in for a prolonged period to get everyone around me in politics to understand exactly what I just elucidated quite concisely about what the scientific method actually is, what is involved within it, each of the steps. Step 1 being observe a phenomena, step 2 being formulate a hypothesis, step 3 being actualize, that's vary and manipulate your presumed cause, actualize your hypothesis, that's an experiment. So step 1, observe phenomena, step 2, hypothesis construction, step 3, experimentation. Sorry, go ahead.
It's built into the language all over the place. I mean, we have things like social science and applied science and, people thinking things that are science that are not. I mean...
Perfect segue.
Like the logical underpinnings.
Well, it's worth me defining something else because you've said all that, which is pseudoscience. What is pseudoscience by definition? Well, it's the claim of the elucidation of cause by application of the scientific method, but has not been through the scientific method. That's pseudoscience by definition. Something that's not been through the scientific method and is claimed to be science, aka pseudoscience. So if you haven't been through the method, but you're saying this is the science of psychology, also known as one of the pseudosciences, yeah, that's because it hasn't been through the scientific method.
Also astrophysics and cosmology.
Pseudosciences. Anything that sits outside of the elucidation of the cause of naturally occurring phenomena. Everything outside of that is not science. Science is exclusively the elucidation of the cause of naturally occurring phenomena. That is natural science. It's not to say you can't achieve empiricism through other methods. It's just if you claim empiricism and say it's science when it hasn't been through that specific method, that's observe natural phenomena, formulate a hypothesis, and actualize the hypothesis. If it hasn't been through that method, then it is not science. It might still be empirical. So if you've got an empirical offering, don't cheapen it by calling it science. If you've got an accurate measurement of something, for instance, don't call it science. No point cheapening it, making it pseudoscience if it's super accurate. Lean on the strength of it being very, very accurate. It's just not science.
Remember back when we couldn't go 5 minutes without hearing from a glober that science proves everything about a globe?
Yep.
The body of science.
You've got it. Who said that? Body of science. How 10 years ago is that?
That was me.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to say that. Yep.
Yeah, we had it so often that 7 years ago we were going, the body of science compels you. All evangelical-like.
We did have a glober in here basically saying that. It's like, but, all the science and the technology that relies on the Earth being a globe, and it pressed him on it. And the one thing you could come up with was GPS.
But all the lions and the fawns and the snow, Narnia must be real.
Exactly.
Or they try to say, the computer you are on was built with science. That proves a globe because computers.
Yeah, I could say the same about Narnia.
Hi.
Hello. Hey, Uka? Hey,
You
Uka?
can't hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Okay, I don't know. I used my microphone many times. So I don't know. But you can hear me okay?
Yeah, nice and clear.
Hello?
More clear than my panel.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what you mean when you say leather.
When I say leather?
level. You know, level.
Oh, level.
You talk about level. I was wondering.
having no part higher or lower
Level,
than another.
yeah. Sorry.
Having no part higher or lower.
Okay, so what did you say again?
Make the third attempt to say it. Having no part higher. This will
higher or lower.
This will be the fourth attempt with me trying to answer his question with him talking through me. Fourth attempt. Having no part higher or lower than another. That's level.
Okay, who was talking through you say?
You.
Are you talking to me?
I think there might be just a little bit of delay. We'll just have to get through it.
It's all good.
Okay.
Having no part higher or lower than the other to answer your question.
Okay, so when you talk about surface level, is that the same level you're talking about?
We weren't talking about anything. In what context? You've brought this up, not us.
No, but when you apply it to
well, how are you
surface
applying
level, is that the same level you're talking about?
I've just said this. I'll say it again. You're talking about it. How are you applying it?
Sorry,
You're the one bringing it up. You don't need to talk through me while I'm in the middle of a sentence. I'm in the middle of the same sentence that you're talking through. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, shut up. You brought it up. What context are you using surface level? Second time's a charm with him talking through me. It seems like you want to talk through me when I respond to you. I'll say it again. Third attempt. You brought up surface level. So how are you utilising it, given that you brought it up?
No, I was just trying to clarify, to understand a bit more what you mean.
I didn't mean anything. I didn't bring it up. You did. Fourth time.
You said level was
Fourth time. You said surface level.
I know I brought it up, but
how would you utilise that?
I asked you about level. You said it was no part higher. You what?
Yeah, I defined it after you asked how it is defined.
No, that's why I'm asking. No, you said level is no part higher or lower than another.
That's how it's defined.
Correct? I heard you right?
That's how it's defined. That's the third time I've said the same response. That's how it's defined.
I know.
Time.
Okay.
So how
when
are you
say
utilising
surface
it then?
level,
So how
is that the same
how
level?
are you utilising it then? Surface level.
To surface level.
How are you utilising surface level? How are you utilising it?
Well, me personally.
Yeah, you brought it up.
When I look at the surface, it's not level.
All right. How do we know how not level it is if measured? How would we know how not level it is?
Well, you said no part higher or lower than another.
Yeah, we've defined what level is.
So that's how
the
I know.
definition. That's correct. So how would we know, second time's a charm, how high or low stuff is with respect to what if we're measuring the ground? Second time I've asked.
Okay, but surface level is not the same level. Is that what
you're saying? That's not what I asked. Do you not comprehend what I've asked? Do you need to ask it a third time? This is fun. So if we were going to describe how high or low something was with respect to Earth, maybe you could talk through me repeating it for the third time. Maybe if you talk through me repeating that which you haven't answered, because you answered a different question. Maybe you talking while I'm talking will solve that problem. This will be a solution. If you just talk through me asking it a third time indefinitely, we can have complete audio chaos with you not answering me. Or you could answer, if we're going to describe the measurement of the ground and how high or low it is, how would we do that? Third time I've asked. You've had to be put on server mute, it would seem, you unreasonable man.
I wasn't.
I'll ask again, fourth time. Let's see if he chants through it. No, he's going to start chanting through it immediately. You were put on server mute because you weren't listening. You were talking while I asked my question for the third time. If we were going to describe with measurements the surface and how high or low it isn't with respect to surface level, how would we do that?
I wasn't asking about measuring.
I'm asking.
I was asking about the words.
Hello? I'm asking you. Is that not clear? When I asked a question 3 times that you chanted through and had to be server muted because you couldn't answer it. How would we measure the surface level and how high or low the topology of the ground? Fourth time I'm being interrupted. Earth's measured flat. We'll measure the topography with respect to surface level. Yeah, that's right. And you don't have to chant through me while I make a conclusion after 4 attempts to ask you a question that you're unable to answer. Your only tactic is to talk while I'm talking, it seems, sir. Because I'm now summarising the fact that we'll be measuring Earth flat. You seem to just want to talk while I talk to somehow throw me off my game. You think that tactic of pretending like you're distant because someone else has said there's a delay? No, you're just a tosser. A tosser that's had to be server moderated because you don't seem to want to listen to me or answer any of my questions that I repeat with you chanting through them. Meanwhile, Earth's measured flat. Surface level. What's sea level? The reference for how high or low the topology will be with respect to. Yeah, we've got an average of sea level to describe how high or low we measure the ground and the topology with respect to a horizontal plane of reference that's perfect. It's perfectly flat. 0 point being mean sea level. And everything in terms of how Earth's described, how high or low the topology of the land is described with respect to a perfect plane of reference. It's perfect. There's no higher or lower than anything in that perfect plane of reference that literally every measurement of Earth ever will be with respect to. Do you understand? See if he comprehended it.
But you just said sea level. Is that the same level you're talking about? The no higher or lower thing?
Sorry, are you asking me if sea level is the same as the definition of just level? No, sir. You see, sea level involves the sea, and you're just going to start talking through me while I humiliate your idiocy and stupid question, right? You're just going to answer me while I'm answering you. No, you seem to be talking while I'm talking there, sir. I was in the middle of answering you and you're doing it again. Your light's flashing while I'm talking. It's like you want to talk while I'm talking. It's like you're an unreasonable prick that must be server moderated. It's like you've got this inbuilt ability to mute me while I'm answering you. You see, they're different things because they're different words strung together in different sequences. One is just level, defined as me as having no part higher or lower than the other, and the other is sea level, an average that will describe any measurement of Earth with respect to a perfect plane of reference, flat in nature, like Earth will be measured, because Earth is flat. And any deviation from the perfect plane of reference that Earth is going to be utilising with sea level, that isn't the same as the defined level that I gave with a lot of interruption from you, sir. But we will still be measuring Earth flat with respect to a perfect plane of reference. Hope that's clear. Earth's measured flat.
Sea level was what? A perfect what? Reference. Is that level the same level? Well, is that what I'm asking? That's all. Is that the same level as sea level?
So are you now asking me if sea level is the same as sea level? Yes, I am now answering him, and he is now talking while I'm talking, answering him. And the question, it seems, that I'm repeating back to him is, you're asking me if sea level is the same as sea level, and I'm getting answered while I'm answering him. It seems to this prick, this arsehole, this wankers, he's talking straight through me. Arsehole talking straight through the middle of my answer. Talking straight through the middle of my answer, it would seem, every time I answer him. I've just been asked if sea level's the same as sea level. Yes, sea level is the same as sea level. Yeah, it is, yeah. Don't know why it required 5 interruptions.
Higher or lower than another on the sea. Is that what you're saying?
So do we need to define what sea level is now? Because I've just said in answer to your question, yeah, sea level's the same as sea level. Is there a question in there that is beyond the scope of is sea level sea level? Because sea level is sea level. I'm pretty sure I've answered you.
But is it level like you said?
You won't be able to answer. You won't be able to ask him a question. He won't show up for more than 10 seconds. He's got benign questions that don't require any answering. But you asking him a question is beyond all doubt. In a world of imagination, Chocolate. No way. There's no way you'll get a question to him.
No, I'm just looking for the meaning of the words, to understand what it means when you say it. You understand
I'll
me?
give it a try. Hey, dude.
You said level, and level has different meanings.
No, I didn't say level and level have different meanings. Now he's just misrepresenting what I've said. Sea level
Oh, but they do.
And he's interrupting me. Moderators, when I start talking, can you immediately mute him? Because he's going to do it every time. He's done it consistently now 12 times.
Okay.
Every time I start talking, he starts talking through the top of me every time I answer or attempt to answer one of his benign, stupid questions. Now he's misrepresented me and said that level isn't level in my definitions of things that he's imposing on me. No. I said, no, sea level isn't the same as just level by definition. But he didn't listen, did he? He yammered through the top of me and is now misrepresenting me. He knows how to misrepresent what I've said. But comprehension and repetition of what I've actually said is beyond his ability. Answering anything I put to him is also beyond his ability. This guy's a tosser. A globe tosser, no doubt. Earth's measured flat. No amount of irritation that this man puts upon me will change that fact. And yet, sea level, the average thereof, will be the reference for all of Earth and the heights of valleys and mountains with respect to that plane of reference. Now, I've put that out there 4 times. Has it been responded to, addressed in any way, shape or form? No, but I'm being misrepresented about level not being level, end quote, him when he's describing what I've said. No, I didn't. When you tried to misrepresent what sea level is after defining what level on its own is, to try and get me in a gotcha where sea level somehow doesn't meet the definition of level when defined on its own. Yeah, you've tried that trick too. So you're a scumbag, you're disingenuous, and you're only here to try and catch me out in some sort of gotcha. Meanwhile, sea level, that's right, yeah, the average thereof, having no part higher or lower than the other, will be the plane of reference that all things on Earth are measured with respect to. Because Earth's flat. It's measured that way. I've said it 5 times, it's not getting addressed, it's not getting responded to. Just another gotcha when he gets taken off mute will be attempted by this scumbag, because that's what he is. So Earth's measured flat.
Sea level is one of the levels.
No, you have to be muted every time I tried to respond to you.
No, we cannot hear you.
Okay.
You just asked a question, Hayuki. Hayuki, you asked a question and carried on talking. He asked if he could be heard, and then he carried on talking immediately after. Like when he asks a question, it's rhetorical, and he's got the right to keep babbling through the answer to his question. Can you be heard? No, you were put on server mute because you couldn't shut up while I talked. You're doing it now while I'm telling you what the score is. Like you're somehow oblivious to the fact that you've had to be shut up by a person who moderates this room. Not me. I'm not muting this asshole. He's talking through the top of me right this second. That's why you're getting shut down by the moderation team. It's happening right now. They're shutting you down because you can't control yourself while you get an answer to the question you put to me. I start answering you, you start talking in the middle of that answer. Therefore, when you ask, can I be heard? No, dickhead. You're having to be shut up because you can't shut yourself up during answers. Hope that's clear, you utter numbskull. You're an intolerable person to deal with. I don't want to deal with you anymore. I'm sure the moderation team feel the same way. Having to have to moderate you. They're having to intervene because you're not a reasonable person. So can you be heard? No, not anymore, Dumbo. Maybe if you were tolerable and wait until the end of people's actual sentence, not just when they take breath to actually respond to what they've said and acknowledge something they've said, then maybe you would be allowed to continue in this discussion. But they've had to shut you up, Dumbo. Hope that's clear.
Yep, either he's gonna stay muted, or if he gets unmuted, he can maybe steelman what the replies that he got about level, hopefully, and maybe comes to a conclusion and then finish his questioning, because it's almost like he's going in circles or something.
Yeah, a circle attempts to misrepresent what I've actually said to him. Oh, so you're saying level's not level? No, that's not what I said. He actually put it to me that...
Can I...
Go ahead.
Can I read a couple of definitions from AI here? Yes. Mean sea level is considered a horizontal plane, representing the average level of the ocean's surface over a long period. Second definition, yes, a horizontal plane is considered a level surface.
Yeah, pretty much as I put to him about 5 times. Yes, I did need to look it up to put it to him. I'm still talking. I'm still talking. I've answered your question. You're now immediately yammering through me when you're off mute. What a scumbag. I've answered you, you dick. You think you've got the right to continually yammer when you've ignored my answers. They were the same as the definition given to you by Endless, read out from AI, from looking it up. I didn't need to do that, right? I don't need to look this crap up. For my audience's benefit, there's nothing in front of me. I've not got an iPad. I'm not looking this crap up. He, on the other hand, ignored my definition 5 times, but still thinks he's got the right to yammer through me the minute he comes off mute. No. What will happen, sir, is you'll be taken off mute, then I'll put my response back to you that you ignored 5 times. If you can't freaking cope with it, you'll be put back on mute and ignored for the rest of my duration here. That's how it's going to work. Earth's measured flat.
Okay, it's my turn to talk now. Is it okay to talk, or?
Is that rhetorical, or you immediately start talking through my response to your question you've just asked? Is it my turn to talk? No, there's rules here. It's your turn to respond to me telling you that the surface level will be referenced for all measurements of topology. And he's immediately talking through my victory dance. Yeah, immediately. Mute him. Let's talk to somebody else. He's not a tolerable guest. He's not reasonable to discuss things with. He's just talking through me. Yeah, that's what these dicks do. It's their only defence when I put to them that Earth's measured flat, to immediately start yammering through me. Yeah, what you're going to do is feel that you're going to get a gotcha with our levels defined? No, Earth's measured flat. That'll never get responded to, but it will get chanted through. The effective mute button being put into effect while it's projected onto me, even in a server. I've got no control of the guests. I have to appeal to the server moderators for what's reasonable after the 6th attempt to actually enter this man into the discussion based on his question, no less. These people aren't reasonable. They're only here to wind me up.
Well, let's give him a chance here. You got one chance, buddy. Otherwise, you're going straight back on server mute and you won't be coming off. Nathan's answered your question. Do you have a response for Nathan? That's all we need, your response. Nothing else. Your turn to talk.
What do you mean by response? I was asking for, to understand about these words and what they mean when.
Okay, so now you understand. You now understand mean sea level. Yeah, you have a sound understanding.
So if he wants to understand, just listen, bro. We get it. You don't get it. You don't understand it. So just mute yourself and listen to the conversations, read the definitions, and maybe when you get it, maybe open your mic and reply it about what level means and what it is, and maybe have a conversation about it. But right now, just asking, I just want to understand what you guys mean. Just go study it yourself, because it looks like it might be a language barrier or something, but Nathan already explained it multiple times. Someone else read many definitions and you still don't get it. So it sounds like a you problem. So go ahead and study it yourself.
No. I was just asking about what level means. What it
you
means
said that 17 times already. You don't have to repeat it. You said that 17 times.
Can we mute him? Can we just mute him? This guy's just a dick.
Okay.
Yeah, just mute him.
This guy.
Now I know.
Can we mute him? Because he's not helping.
When you say sea level, it's not level. That's
chaos, right? Thanks, Gemsy. Yeah, this guy's a complete dick, right? I was just asking what level is. Oh, go and learn how to use Google, you complete idiot.
Look, he has Google, Yahoo, ChatGPT, many versions. Just go study, learn it from there, and maybe have a conversation about it. But don't come here going in circles about, I just want to get what it means.
Yeah, thanks for your question. Earth's measured flat. Yes, we reference Earth as a horizontal plane of reference. Yes, that's right. That's sea level. Yes, it's level. Yes, level means having no part higher or lower than another. Learn how to use Google. Earth's flat. Thanks for your time. Next.
Hey, quick question. How are you, Nathan, and everybody?
Very well.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Hey, this is Gemsy. I just wanted to say, sea level, you mentioned that elevations are measured from mean sea level. So once you go to a certain elevation, you can establish another level, like let's say your first floor level or your second floor as a level. Right, and those altitudes between those level positions, one parallel to the other one, above or below, those are all levels, right?
Yeah.
The first floor is a level. The second floor, the third floor, that's another level.
Right.
The lake next to your house, that's a lake level next to your house.
Sure.
Right? Yeah.
Eye level.
And then those elevations are measured from the mean sea level that every elevation is measured from.
Yeah, it's all reference to sea level. That's how high things are when you describe them.
Just to give you an example, like if you were 100 miles inland from the ocean, and they're saying, okay, you are 200 feet above sea level when you're building something. That means, like technically, at that position, if you were to keep that angle and transfer it horizontally, that means when you get back to the ocean, you'll be 200 feet above it. For all those idiot Globers that can't grasp that, I hope that you could visualize it and then realize why we say it's transferred, measured, and utilized and treated as flat. Because when you transfer it and transfer it from the original position, horizontally transferring it over and over and over, that's how you get these stair-like elevations as you go inland. That's all.
Gemsy, any chance I can ask you to locally mute just because you're bleeding into other people? Shout out to...
Oh, my bad.
That's all right. Tuberticus again. $100 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, okay. I don't know what that means, but thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate the support. Right, we got about...
He is ace.
We have got about 5 minutes left in the politics server while we're live. If you did want to join this server, which is an awesome server, then click the link that hopefully one of my mods will stick in the live stream chat. How many people are actually watching? I haven't really been paying attention to my live stream. 120 live people. So there's got to be somebody in there that wants to join this server. It is awesome. It's called Politics. And we are currently in the Flat Earth section of it, which is called 24/7 Flat Earth in the Politics Discord server. So if you did want to join this server, click on the link that's going to be whizzing its way by in the YouTube live stream chat. So yeah, we'll stay for another few minutes, but thank you for having us as always. Impromptu visit to Politics today. We will come tomorrow as well, if that's okay by you guys.
Yeah,
so as a practical use, people kind of say level or horizontal, right? The horizontal line will something that you gonna, like Apocryphon said, if you want to come to a different altitude away from the sea level, you're gonna bring that horizontal line, and you can go higher in altitude, establish a horizontal line to establish a level for. You want to build a floor to a certain level, to a certain altitude. So you use horizontal lines to kind of have the frame of reference to build that level of your first floor.
Yes, and you said it already. They're all parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah, all parallel with the plane of the horizon in all instances. Yes.
Yo, Gemsy, what's up, man? It's good to hear you, brother.
Hey, how are you, Chocolate?
Hey, I like how you say it. One more time.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Much classier.
Because in Spanish you will say chocolate, so chocolate.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the way I say it? Chocolate.
Yeah, that's rough as hell.
Chocolate.
Awful. With that, though, I'm going to say, if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Matt, do you know you're off mute?
Oh, yeah, I was just chit-chatting with Steve. I didn't know it was over.
What was over?
Pay attention.
The conversation with Steve. What does that mean, pay attention? I was talking to Steve.
Yeah, don't be rude, Neil. How dare you?
Pay attention.
Shut up, Neil.
Or take a fucking walk.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Steve.
No, but that was pretty funny. Yeah, go ahead, you guys.
He was fine. The other prick isn't.
No need. That's all right. What are you doing?
Neil,
no need. Don't be like that.
I will refrain because we are in politics.
We're not in politics.
I will refrain.
No, we're not in politics. We're in FED.
Pay attention.
Pay attention, Neil.
Oh, so I wouldn't have bet. We're not even in 15 minutes in politics, and we're already gone. Wow.
Yeah, it was an impromptu visit. It's Thursday. We're not normally in politics on a Thursday, so I dropped in for an hour, unannounced, and then I thanked him at the end, and then we left.
Yeah, but Nathan, you gotta be on Neil's side on this. This guy is exploiting Neil's feelings. No, it's not funny because the guy basically said he's a beggar in front of his wife. If I had powers to mute him, I just would.
Did you do that, Matt?
No, I did not.
Why?
You didn't go in chat and say to me, Neil, will you be buying a book or will we have to take up a collection for you for that as well? You didn't say that. Yes, you freaking did say that. So now you're a liar on top of it.
I didn't embarrass you in front of your wife, dude.
My wife was sitting right there. I was home.
Whatever, Neil. The thing that I did to you was I told you to shut up.
What the freak is wrong with you? What did I do to you that you would say something like that to me?
Neil, chill out just for 1 second. Just 1 second, Neil. The accusation came through clear. He didn't deny it. Let's just hear what he's going to say. That's a bit unreasonable, isn't it, Matt? Come on.
Nathan, this is not fun. This is not something to have fun with.
I'm not saying it's fun. I'm saying that's a bit unreasonable, Matt. And I want to hear his response. So far, he's fobbed him off. That's a bit unreasonable, Matt.
What? So I'm accused of saying that Neil needs me to buy him a book.
No, it's the inference in your message. You're calling him an e-beggar. There's no two ways about it. You didn't deny it.
Well, okay. I said, Neil, I'll buy you a book.
Is that what you meant by it, though? Doesn't seem like it.
You did not say that. He's such a fucking liar. See, I can't deal with people that lie.
No swearing.
I can't deal with that shit. Man,
he's lying. Like, come on. Like, he's being a weed. Like, that's wheeze.
Yeah,
you know what?
Let me tell you, if I had mod powers, you would be gone.
Everybody lies, right? But when you, like Huey said, when you can't just go, you know what? I was an asshole. You're disgusting, man. Somebody's gonna break your nose.
No need. Let's not threaten people with physical violence.
This is what I get from you guys. Neil and now Eli wants to threaten me.
Well, it's because it's so unreasonable. You could have just said, okay, that seems bad. I'm sorry. Instead, you're like, no, I mean, I want to buy you a book. That's like pouring salt into the... Neil, please chill out. You're pouring salt into the wound. You're like, oh, fine, I'll buy you a book. That's even worse in a way. That's even more rude.
What Eli is saying is things like that can get your nose broken. Not that he's going to do it,
no, I got
do
his
that
sentiment,
to somebody in a pub.
No, I got his sentiment. It didn't need reiterating. It was perfectly clear what he meant.
Oh, it needed reiterating for sure. I gave him the opportunity. Why would you say something like that? You know, when we first became friends, when LVA Paul put him in G+, he said to me, you know what, Neil, sometimes I try to be funny. I'm not funny. I say stupid things. So I figured maybe that was one of the cases where he said something stupid. No, but it's not. He's a little fucking prick.
No, stop swearing. He's here.
What was the
he can
quote
speak for
verbatim?
himself. Hold on, Matthias. I can hear you in the background giggling and wanting to shit stir. Just chill. Matt, come on. That's very... No. You know what you're doing. And you've taken it a step further when you're like, I'll buy you a book. Because you're masking your embarrassment over it by saying that. Because you didn't mean that.
Dude, Neil was asking people for to pay his membership dues. And I did make a comment in chat that said, oh, we're paying for your membership dues. Would you like me to buy a book as well?
You're such a liar. Nathan brought up his book. And I said
it's not even a big. I don't even know why you're so upset about it.
And Skep wanted me to sign it, and you said, "Will you be taking up a collection for that too?" Because at the time, Nathan put it out that I got into a bad car accident and I'd be out of work for a while, and people
Dude, your
started
car
sending me
accident
money.
has nothing to
You
do
were
with any of
referring
this.
to that, not my little
No, I
joke
wasn't.
about freaking
No, I
buying
wasn't.
a membership or trying to get a free membership, okay?
Okay, Matt's saying he didn't mean that. You've read that into it, Neil, to be fair. He's saying no.
Bullshit,
No,
Nathan.
he hasn't, Nathan.
That's what he's saying.
No, he
He's
hasn't,
saying it.
Nathan. No, he hasn't, Nathan. No, he hasn't, Nathan. Because when questioned about this, when this came up with Matt a few nights ago, the first thing Matt did was, and Adam didn't even say Adam, just tried to attack me and Adam. I brought up a certain term that's used by someone else who attacks me and Adam. No, Nathan, it's not innocent. You, once again, are not supporting the people around you who've supported you. That's what's going on.
No, I'm just telling you what he said. He's saying no, no, no. And in terms of what he put in
But
that
it doesn't
chat,
matter what he said. It doesn't matter what he said. He's lying.
So, Nathan, while the campaign was going on after I got into a car accident, you think he was talking about me? And I made it clear when I was doing that in chat what I was doing. Very exciting to try and get the free membership, because I thought if you type in the first 5 or 10 people would get it. I know that's not happening anymore. That's why I was doing it. He knew damn well. He was using the other thing to freaking pour salt in me. Let me tell you something. When I'm working, I make more money than you can imagine, my friend.
No, let's not have a battle of pride in terms of how well each one of us is doing. Like, I've got no shame in terms of e-begging, but there is clearly salt being poured into a perceived wound that Neil's got because he's had support from us. Now, I don't know what game's being played here. It's just not nice, Matt.
I was just wanting to know what the quote
Matthias.
was.
Matthias, I want to hear Matt. There's obviously been tete-a-tete, and it's obviously in the water already. The blood's already in the water. Why would what's your deal with? Be honest, Matt. What's the deal? Why do you want to have a poke at Neil? Neil, chill. Why do you want to have a poke? You obviously want to have a poke. Why? Looks like we're not going to find out.
Is he there?
He's there. He's just not answering me. I don't know why he wants to have a poke at you, Neil. I agree.
And I addressed it when it happened. I addressed it in chat.
I was on mute. I was talking to you guys, but I was on mute.
Fair enough.
I don't have, like I said, I don't have a thing with Neil. I like Neil. I'm at peace with all men. Neil's got a thing with me.
Holy shit. Don't be using Christianity, you lying piece of crap. Because when I dealt with it right there, you continued in chat.
I love you, Neil.
That's bullshit. Why are you having a poke?
What do you mean? Neil's sitting there cussing me out. He's trying to get a rise out of me for some reason.
No, I'm trying to get your ass thrown the freak out.
He's being passive aggressive. I'm telling you, man, look, I don't have, people, I'm telling you, some people don't have the patience for the passive aggressiveness they know you're putting out there. Your nose would just be broke, man. Let's stop doing that.
I would never say that to anybody.
My nose would be broke. Dude, you're trying to get a rise out of me. Why?
And then gets beat up and keeps going.
Hold on, Eli. No, he's not trying to get a rise out of you. He's trying to say that in person, when somebody behaves passively aggressively, right, or infers that someone's a beggar, and that I'll give you a bit of help, you're going to help you out of that as well. That's the inference. We all know what the inference is. You know too. And you were like, "No, I just mean I'm going to buy you a book." Now you're bullshitting. So the stakes have gone up every time you've done it. Now you're saying I'm at peace with Neil. So it's like, are you just a joker? Do you just like getting people wound up? What's the deal? I just want to know.
No, dude. I've already acknowledged, perhaps, look, it was wrong for me to say, Neil, and whatever, you're begging for memberships. I'll buy you a book. Okay. I apologize for that. I've already acknowledged that.
That's not even what was said. Matt, you are such a liar and disingenuous. You're not even addressing it. That's not even what was said. Take your apology.
Well, show what
it
was
up
said,
your
Neil.
fucking
I don't
ass.
even know.
I don't need your
when was this said?
apology. Just get the fuck out of here.
Please stop swearing.
I'm sorry. Just go. Nobody wants you. Nobody wants you here no more.
That's not true. All are welcome. Sorry, Neil.
Yeah, all are welcome.
This is why
This is what
This is why I asked about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
This is why I asked about
Go
5
ahead,
minutes ago what
Matthias.
the quote was verbatim. Yeah, this is why I asked about 5 minutes ago what the quote was verbatim. That way, there's no
Verbatim quote was,
misunderstanding.
Neil, will you be buying? I said I'm going to be signing a book for Skep 936 or something to that effect. And Matt says, will you be buying that, or we have to take up a collection for that also? Okay? And this is right when, hold on, this is right when I had my accident, and Nathan put out the word on his members only about sending me some money because he knows I'm the only one that's the breadwinner in my family. Thank you very much, Nathan. I appreciate it. And the community took me through 12 weeks by the skin of my teeth. Their generosity brought me through. So I'm forever indebted to Nathan. I will be loyal to Nathan.
Not me. Not me. No.
And
Me.
you put the word out there,
No.
Nathan. That's what got them going.
My
Okay,
supporters
it got
and
me
members,
through.
you're indebted to them. Me just saying something on a video that you're not indebted to me for anything.
Yeah, but it's because of you. It's because of your influence, okay? And of course, because some people love me. I don't know. I appreciate it.
Me, I find you greatly irritating, but some people love you.
Why was that person asking that question?
I don't know. I didn't get to the bottom of it. Matt, I asked you why you were having a poke. Your answer was, I love all of you. Very disingenuous. There's got to be something underlying for why you'd want to have a jab at him. Or maybe you're just that type of person that just likes getting a little snickery rise out of people. Because last time I asked, you opened with a little snicker.
Dude, Neil is constantly having a poke at me. I mean, I've been poked at this whole conversation. And if I poke back, I'm the bad guy?
Neil, have you been poking at Matt?
As soon as I heard his voice, I'm going to address it because I don't want him here.
No, Neil, you haven't been. The answer to that is no, you haven't been. You don't have to answer that question, just like you didn't have to answer the question beforehand from someone else who's obviously with this guy.
When have I ever poked without being, antagonized? And that was an antagonization. And let me tell you something. My wife was sitting right next to me. I was still in bed. I couldn't even walk. And she's reading along right with me. And she's like, oh, my goodness. Because she didn't like it, that there was it comes from a very proud family, my wife, Guyanese. They consider that you don't do something like that. And I said, what do you want me to do? Tell people not to help me in a time of need? I just thank God that Nathan put the word out and people are helping me because I have no way of getting money in this house. She's seen it, and that offended her.
Dude, that comment had nothing to do.
You don't have to justify anything.
Hold on, Brian. Go ahead, Matt.
That comment had nothing to do with your accident or trying to make fun of you for being laid up.
Yeah, but you're calling him a beggar.
That wasn't what was said. It was you were making fun of him for having to ask for money. Not for the reason why you had to ask for money. Stop being a lawyer.
Neil was asking. Neil was asking.
No, there was not going on at that time. No, it was not.
Neil was asking for money long before he had an accident.
A lawyer.
Oh, there it is. There it is. He's keeping tabs. I get it out of him. You're keeping tabs, right? Or when I had to get a car and people helped me out, or when I had to move. So you're keeping tabs. Why don't you watch what you do? You know what? You didn't give me one penny. So what the fuck do you care?
Stop swearing.
Sorry, Nathan. I'll get off because I'm going to keep swearing at this piece of shit until he's gone from here. I'm going to run you out. Somebody will reach out and tap you on the shoulder and run you out. Promise you that.
Do what you think is right, Neil.
No, Neil's left. He doesn't want to deal with you having jabs at him for seemingly no reason. You're saying now he's always been e-begging? Okay. Why would you have that jab?
I didn't say always. I'm saying the donations for his accident, that's fine and that's whatever. Like I had no issue with that. It's when
Can you point it out when was that before when he was begging the money? Because you said that you claim it.
No. Well, I don't want to do that either, Sasha. Why were we even discussing this? Why is this suddenly on the table about Neil?
Let's see if he's a liar or not.
Well, I don't want to because it means we've got to discuss Neil. He's left, so presumably we draw an end to the conversation.
Of course not. But yeah, in the last 15 minutes, it was about this, you know, and it was like some people cannot say sorry and stay on that, you know. They want to continue.
Well,
He
I don't know
didn't
who you're
apologize.
talking about. I've already apologized, Neil.
Matthews, you didn't apologize. Do you understand
I
that?
did. I
No, you
acknowledge.
did. I can apologize like you, sorry, but in my mind will be, I don't fucking care because I said sorry, you know?
Also, now you
Wait a
know
minute,
my
not
motive
Matt.
too. Yeah.
There's two Matts in here, by the way. There's Matt and Matthias. I'm not the one that did the
Dude,
deal to
and this
Neil.
ain't the first time Neil's trying to get me run out of here, bro. You think this is the first time Neil's trying to get me to run out, to get run off?
Sorry, Matthews.
Can I ask you a question?
Brian,
can I ask you a question, Matt?
Go ahead, Brian.
Why did you respond to me and Adam the other night when we weren't even attacking you with the term bulverism? Why did you decide to?
No, I don't know why you and Adam thought.
That shows that you definitely are a lowlife who has some ulterior motive and agenda. Like there's no doubt about that.
I was wondering why you and Adam thought.
Why are you a lowlife and a liar? I mean, why are you doing that? Why is that? Like,
what is this now, Brian? How did me
why are you scum? Is what I'm asking. Like, how did you end up being scum? Was there did it start off that way, or how did it happen?
Are you done questioning me?
Oh well, I'm waiting for an answer.
When I said it was bulverism going off in QE's chat after the show, you and Adam automatically thought that applied to y'all. So
you're aware there was nothing taught you. I directly addressed this. So yeah, there was no thinking about anything. Look, you have some scumbag low-life agenda. You have some scumbag low-life agenda. You were attacking Neil for no reason, and you're having a go at him for needing to ask people
just
for
like
help
I
in a time of
attacked
need.
Neil today.
You know what I mean?
Just
I mean,
like
that's
I
what Neil has
attacked
been
Neil
doing.
today.
Neil has been doing that. I don't know, Max. We gave you a chance. Even though you are friends with LVA Paul, who's a proven low-life. So I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
LVA Paul's a proven low life. What did he do?
Absolutely, yeah, absolute low-life. Yeah.
What did he do?
What did he? All kinds of things. But the focus is on you.
Oh, he did all kinds of things. Just
So why
like
are
I did
you a
all kinds.
scumbag? Why are you a scumbag?
What things? What things?
Why
what things did I do?
Why are you scum? That's all really I'm interested in. Was it like is it something you just decided to be later in life? How did it happen?
You're so disingenuous right now, Adam. Or
nah, I'm not disingenuous at all. I'm not. I see. I know scum, and I know how to treat scum like scum. No disingenuous at all.
I don't know, bro. I think you're like creating a straw man or some shit. Like I've never, dude. I've never hurt Neil. I've never hurt you. I don't know what
maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I just have it all wrong and I'm crazy. And you didn't attack Neil for no reason.
Well, forget about Neil for a second. Oh, hold on. No, sorry to do this to you, Brian. Let's focus on your suggestion that when you brought up bulverism thus far, that had nothing to do with Brian and Adam specifically, in spite of the only reference thus in the last 3 months to bulverism ever was directed specifically to them by AI. But you're suggesting no connection to them, correct?
No, it was the constant accusations that Neil levied against me. That dude, there was accusation after
Nathan,
accusation.
He referenced me and Adam, literally. Adam wasn't even doing that, and Adam didn't even know what was going on. Adam didn't even have his antenna up until that was leveled at Adam. For nothing.
They applied Adam when I said it. Adam's server muted me, and he thought I was having a jab at him, which he wasn't even in the conversation. So he applied it to himself. I don't know why. You'd have to ask
didn't
Adam.
Think anything. He directly addressed him, and there was other people there.
Because AI's been applying it to him multiple times.
Yeah, I know, because AI has been falsely accused of some nefarious.
No. The point is, Matt is lying. No, the point is, Matt is lying. I wish I was he would never speak again because all Brian said was, "Why would you do that to Neil?" And then he addressed both Brian and Adam. So he's lying even now. Just stop him. He specifically addressed Adam and Brian for Brian calling him out about Neil.
Yeah, and I wasn't even aggressive. I just asked him a question at the time. It just said, "Why would you do that?" And Neil asked him.
Well, I fail to see how I'm attacking Neil, dude. As soon as Neil showed up in this room, he attacked me. And now y'all are saying I'm the aggressor attacking Neil. This is ridiculous.
Oh, my goodness.
This is an old ploy. This is an old ploy where you act as if you're the innocent one who's been attacked after you've caused the problem. You're not innocent of anything.
I didn't cause a problem. Neil had a problem.
No, you created the problem when you were wise ass in chat. And I was trying to deal with you in chat. Hold on. I was trying to deal with you in chat and you kept going. I left my phone number for you to call me. And like a coward bitch, you didn't.
Stop swearing.
I don't have you on Skype or I would be dialed into you right now.
How much am I supposed to take? I get called a coward, a bitch. Somebody wants to punch me in the nose.
No.
Hey,
it's like what?
You started it.
No,
Are you
that's not what's
kidding
happening.
me?
You just, I don't know if you're trying to wind Brian up now. So literally, Brian's just said that the aftermath is what you'd focus on. And then you've done that immediately. Now, I'm laughing because it's easy for me to identify that that's what's just literally happened in the last 25 seconds. So what, you're going to now focus on the aftermath? So we go back to having to summarise. Now, you've antagonised Neil with a comment and he's reacted to it. And you're going to focus on...
And I've already apologized.
He's reacted. It's like, yeah, he's going to poke back. But if you're going to focus on him poking back... I've
apologized.
Okay.
I've apologized. What do I do now?
Neil
you didn't apologise. And nobody cares about your apology.
I don't know.
Right, because you just want blood.
An apology coming from a dishonest place means nothing.
Well, I didn't really hear a formal apology. It did sound pretty shitty, but Neil certainly isn't satisfied with what he's got thus far, Matt.
Well, Neil's not going to be satisfied till I'm gone.
I don't know. Are you sincerely sorry for having a little poke and calling him a me beggar and shaming him in front of his wife, which is what he's put to you? He's poured out his soul in response.
I definitely did not intend to embarrass him in front of his wife, for sure. And
you admit that you did it then. You admit that you did it. Because you wouldn't know that his wife is there if you just locked in on the list.
Do you want to hear an apology
You wouldn't
or
know
not,
who's there in the room with him. Anyone could be in the room with him. Donald Trump could be in there.
I'm sorry I offended Neil.
So you admit that you did. You admit you did what you tried to say you didn't do that.
I offended Neil. I apologize. That's it.
Well, I'm really sorry for calling you a scumbag and for asking you why are you a scum, because you displayed the traits of a scumbag. So I'm really sorry for calling you a scumbag.
I accept your apology.
Oh my God. I love how you accept the most disingenuous apology ever.
Yeah, because he wants us to accept his heap of rubbish apology.
Neil, do you accept his garbage apology also?
I told you what he could do with that. He could wipe his ass with it. I won't be satisfied till he's gone.
Can't you just accept his crappy apology so we can move on?
Hey, I never said I didn't forgive him. I never said that. But I don't have to be around him. I don't want him around me. He's displayed his character. My character's loyalty.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to try and somehow back yourself up here, Nathan. Why would you expect Neil to accept a completely fraudulent apology?
And it's totally self-serving from my part. I just want to move on.
This is not going to be one of those situations. This is another one of those situations where you have a panel member who's going to be not want to be here.
I can't do. What do you want me to do? You can appeal to the person who runs the server. So you can appeal to Righteous Force if you want somebody excluded from the server. Right, so tell us all about it, Neil. What did Righteous say to you?
He hasn't
That's what
answered
he
me
needed
back.
and Righteous.
He's going to hide. Matthew's going to hide behind the Christian card. I love everybody, Lord Jesus Christ. But the Lord Jesus Christ would never do anything like that. As a matter of fact, the people that were down and out, he brought them in and told them good stories that they could hold on to and they can grasp. Not like this prick Pharisee.
I was just trying to let
That's what I'm saying. This is
Neil.
you're representing Christ right now, Neil. Good job.
The Christ that walked in and turned the tables over of the money changers. Yes, that's the Christ I display now because I see a Pharisee.
Okay. If you say so, it must be so.
Good point.
I wonder, dude.
Anyway, how's some Tigers doing?
What was that, Matthias?
I was just get.
I agree.
Matthias, dude, you're breaking up. Your signal's bad.
Shocker.
Neil, you remember when Nathan, he went to that bar or whatever, that pub, and he gave a speech, and then something fell out. And you were telling Nathan I was behind it. Do you remember that? What was that all about?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Nathan, you went to I guess you went to a pub somewhere and you gave a speech, like a public deal. People could pay a cover charge or whatever and hear your presentation. And something fell out with you and that guy, and you were telling us all about it. Dude, and Neil was sitting there saying, "Oh, this guy Matthew that you got on the panel there, he's behind it." I guess he
That
was
is so
trying to get me to
stupid. Why would I
respond
say
to it.
you're behind it? You're not even in the UK. Your lies are so pathetic. I can back what I say up because I'll go right in and find it and show it there for you. I saved it. I screenshotted it.
This
How
was
can you
live on the
back
show,
yours
Neil.
up?
This was live on the show. This was in a pre-show
Go pull
or
it
maybe
out.
the show.
Pull it
Oh
out.
God. I
I
don't
can
remember the
quote me
dates.
verbatim.
I don't remember the dates, but it can be found.
Okay, good
So
luck
you're
with that.
harboring
I'm going to get a
something.
coffee.
So you're harboring something, and instead of coming to me like a man,
no, you're
like I came to
harboring something
you,
against
as
me.
soon as you fucking said it, I came right into your face. You're like a little coward bitch waiting for the opportune time to say something that would try and hurt me. Sort of like lumpy gas in a vacuum. Oh, I offered Neil a job for $100,000, but he said no. Bullshit. Right? Right in the middle of me being on my bed, can't even move. You come in with that. Lumpy comes in with that. There's a, I want to try not to swear. There's a pattern going on here. Why are you here?
What do you
Like,
mean?
what's
Why
your
am I here? Because
purpose?
I love talking
What's your
about the
purpose?
earth, man. It's not for you. My purpose of being here is not for this.
So then why address me?
I didn't. You came in and addressed me.
Oh,
Same thing you did
Matthew,
yesterday
stop
or
playing
the other day
stupid.
at
We're talking
QE's.
about what you
Yeah,
said in
yeah.
chat. That's what caused this whole scenario, jerk off.
You're wasting your
Dude,
time here because he's
how
just going to
long
bring you
ago was
around in
this in chat?
circles and troll you. That's all
Give
he's
a
going to
Months and
do.
shit.
months ago.
I'm just
What do you
saying, what's the
mean?
point? He's not going. There's not going to be
No,
nothing
I'm
good
not
out of
talking
it.
to you, Brian. I'm talking to
I
the
know that.
asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, you're such a Christian. You're displaying the values right now, aren't you, Neil?
You're not my God, okay?
I'm not.
I
I
don't
know I'm
gotta
not.
please you. Well, phony's got to be addressed, and that's
To be fair,
something
we
I
all
am not.
You're just trying to.
To be fair, we all sin each day.
I still don't have anything against Janelle.
Is it quiet? Or do I have someone personally muted?
Why is it all
Nah,
gone
we can
quiet?
hear you
Leo was
now,
shouting a second ago.
Matthias. You got a better mic now, Matthias. What were you trying to say?
No, earlier I was just trying to change the subject because it seemed like it was just beating a dead horse, not getting anywhere, nothing but division.
Well, that happens when people come in and say stupid things, you know? Then keeping tabs of when you're down and out, you know? Probably jealousy, a little bit of jealousy involved. I don't know. I can't call it. But it should
Nobody
never
knows
been
why,
said.
Neil. Nobody knows why a person would decide to say that to another person for no reason whatsoever, when that other person never did anything wrong to them. And then to continue lying about it afterwards. I mean, you can't say why that is. It's just, it is.
And
Well,
why
to
would
be
they
fair,
want to hang around?
we all have our, life.
Yeah, Matthias.
I was going to say, to be fair, life isn't perfect for everybody. We all have our downs and outs sometimes.
So you don't kick a person when he's down. You uplift him. That's the Christ-like way. And once again, I know it's the after show, but thank you to the community for supporting me for that 12 weeks. Paula, Skep, Gord, Super Blaze. I can't remember all the names, but I got through. Times where I didn't think I was going to get through. Where you're like, oh my goodness, how am I going to meet this bill? Then all of a sudden, something will come in. And then a very well-known panel member asked me not to say anything about it, but he told me, set up a Give, Send, Go. I don't do PayPal. I don't do Cash App, but I want to take care of you. So that's why I set up the Give, Send, Go, and he sent me $500. That's the Christian way.
Neil, this has nothing got to do with Christianity. This is some other dodgy sidebar.
No, but I want to put it out there when Christians do what Christians should do when they see another brother in need, and if they have the ability to help in a situation and they don't, it's counted as them as sin. So these certain Christians that I mentioned saw the situation, saw the need, and gave to me more than one time. Now I'm on my feet again. I'm working. It's going to take a while, but I don't want to see that Divergent Droid putting up that I was in a bad accident no more, and he hasn't. See, he's tuned in.
Yeah, but the issue is not whether someone gave you or didn't give you something. The issue is somebody pointed out that you needed the help of others, and they belittled that. That's what the issue is. Not Christianity, not what a good Christian should do or shouldn't do, and I'm not decrying that. I'm just saying the issue is somebody attacked somebody when they were down, and then has proceeded to lie about the situation after.
Yes, yeah, I was saying that because he was begging for a membership, when everybody knows why I was doing that at the time. It was a fun little game to try and get a free membership. Not because I couldn't get $1.99. Although I did it anyway. Gord bought it for me. Gave me $10 and I bought a membership. Thank you, Gord. But you're right, Brian.
I also want to bring. I also want to bring attention to the table that just be careful whatever you advocate for, because more than likely whatever you advocate for and condone or whatever, it's going to return back to you as well. So
Yeah, that's what you sow is what you reap, right?
Hold on. Like what, Matthias? Like what? Who's advocating for what?
I was more or less pointing out the fact that, if you're going to poke fun of someone or whatever for, oh, they're e-begging or whatever, then chances are you're going to get down on your luck eventually someday and have to do the same. It's called reaping what you sow, I think, is what the Bible refers it as.
Right. What you sow is what you reap. You don't sow corn and collect barley.
It's the reason why the person did what they did. No, sorry, go on.
No, I was saying, I apologize for not supporting you in that time of need.
No. That's not, no, Eli. That's not for you. You're just like I am. I don't expect guys that are barely making it. That would bother me if you sent me something.
Yeah. I was really, well, I appreciate you for saying that, but I would have been there if I could have.
Yeah, that's not even in question. You don't even need to say that. I understand why you're saying that to me, but you don't need to say that. No one would even think that. Everyone knows that you would give it if you had it. The only problem here is these are all sidebars and red herrings away from the actual problem, which is this guy Matt attacked Neil when he was down for no reason whatsoever. That's all that matters. And then also he lied about it afterwards. But that's true.
He said he brought up something that I had done to him. Who knows when? I don't know. I don't even recall.
Yeah, this is only chaff and redirects. It's just ball or tactics. The ball. We're trying to debate something with a baller, and instead of we're getting down to the nitty gritty of it, there's all these sidebars off away from the actual root of the thing. You end up arguing about Coriolis instead of gravity. Do you know what I mean? Or how ships sail instead of gravity when the argument is about gravity. That's all it is. It's just sidebars, redirects, red herrings. All that matters is this man attacked another man when he was down for no reason and then lied about it afterwards. That's all that matters. We don't need to make it any more complicated.
Right. And my question is, why are they here? What are they here for to do that? We're here to discuss the nature of our reality.
1 sec.
I've asked the same question.
Brian, just 1 sec. Whoever that was from Discord, go ahead.
Yeah, that was me. I just wanted to ask Neil. I wasn't here. I just got here. I wanted to know what was it exactly that Matt said to you about the whole e-begging or whatever. What was it? The attack. What was it that he said?
The attack was in chat, talking about Nathan's book, and he said to me, "Will I be buying a copy of it?" Meaning me, or does the community have to take up a collection for that also? This is while I was in my 4th or 5th week after my accident, and there was still a campaign going on to help me when I was not working. So, uncalled for.
Uncalled for, Matt.
I already apologized.
Yeah, you did. I heard you.
Anyway, this guy accepts it. Obviously, Neil won't, and I wouldn't. And I don't.
What wasn't to accept about his apology? You said he was sorry for offending him.
Yeah. I mean, it's nearly like you're with this guy, man. It's nearly like
you
with this guy, man.
think that he apologized? That's
No,
like Garwin saying, "I'm
this
sorry."
Guy is obviously
I'm sorry, you guys
This guy
felt
is obviously
that way.
with man. You know what I mean? He's obviously with man, and that's his whole purpose coming in here. I didn't even like him asking you that question, but he asked it to you. What could I say?
Yeah,
He came in to ask you that question and then bring in the fact, oh,
What's
well,
this
Matt apologized. Yeah.
Bible
Yeah, right.
going on?
Listen, buddy. Right. We didn't come down in the last shower rain. So no matter how clever you might think you are, right, you're not as clever as you think you are.
Now we're gonna attack Bushel.
What? Wait, what?
No, we're not.
What's
We're
going
you're all right,
on?
Bushel, don't worry.
What Bushel is a red herring away from you, and that was the whole purpose of him coming in to ask that question.
I think he's just trying to move
What?
things along.
No.
Let's not attack Bushel.
I heard Matt apologize. I mean, maybe are you suggesting that he
Who
was
cares what
being
you heard?
insincere?
Nobody cares what you heard. You're not directly involved.
There's no need. Right, he's just saying, and he's pointing it out. Right, no worries. He said he heard him apologise. I heard Neil say
Yeah,
he'd
just
wipe his ass.
saying, just relax, real easy going, just saying, and no emotion in my voice. I obviously have no opinion either way on any of this. Yet I'm going to kind of subtly try and help out Matt because I'm on his side.
Is that
Give
what
me
you're
a
doing,
break.
Bushel?
Whoa,
Subtly trying to
dude.
justify Matthew's disingenuous apology. Is that what you're doing, Bushel?
Sorry, what?
Are you trying to justify the disingenuous apology? Maybe you're trying to justify Brian's disingenuous apology when he said he was very sorry for calling him a scumbag. I don't know what your motive is, Bushel, but it's being questioned by Brian.
Oh, I wasn't thinking that anyone's apology was insincere. I mean, Brian sounded a little
was the
bit, but I
pity?
felt like
A little
it wasn't.
bit.
I didn't even.
You
little
sounded
bit,
sincere
yeah.
now, telling me that you didn't think Brian's was insincere. That sounds insincere. So what's going on, Bushel? What's going on?
Wait, I didn't say Brian's was insincere. I just think it. I mean, I got like a
But
slight
it was.
hint that it
It
could have been. I'm
absolutely
not.
was. Sarcastically insincere, deliberately. What are you playing? What's this game, Bushel?
Are we going backwards with knowledge and
All
intellect?
right. So
Are we
I
going
didn't
backwards?
get his sarcasm. My bad. All right.
Are you
So,
serious?
but I'm not
You
trying to say that
seriously
Matt
didn't pick up on Brian's sarcasm. Okay.
yeah,
I don't believe you.
yeah, I didn't.
All I know is the focus has been taken away from Matt.
No, it hasn't. I mean, I brought it up to ask, like, at first, what even happened, and because I heard him apologize, and I didn't think his apology sounded insincere.
I'm just going to gaslight G into thinking that I'm Matt when I'm speaking.
I'll tell you what, the minute I'm in the server and I got people telling me, get out, we don't want you here, I'm gone. So Nathan, if you ever want me out, just start saying that. I'm gone. But they hang around anyway. So there's something a little nefarious going on here.
Yeah, it's a
Neil,
concerted, it's an organized effort.
You don't
know what I mean?
You don't want me there, Neil.
It's an organised effort. No, it bloody isn't.
What?
Oh, yes, it is.
I could tell you 3 off the top that don't want you here. Me, Adam, and Brian. And you continue on.
It's an
People will
organised
see
effort on
right
your
through
part,
you.
then.
Yeah.
Yes, we want him out.
Okay, let's speak to Righteous.
You remember the old saying back in the William Wallace days when they said an attack on one of the king's men is an attack on the king himself? Well, that's how we feel. Attack on one of us
Hold
is
on.
an attack on all
Hold
of
on,
us.
hold on. Am I the king in this scenario?
Absolutely. Who else?
Oh, it's a good example then. I quite like it.
You're the king and Huey's the queen. He's going to kill me for that one.
It's not about that. It's about when somebody is being unjustly attacked. It doesn't matter what the situation is. If they're innocent of it, they're innocent of it. End of story. Right? That's all that matters. It's just that's all that matters. That's all that should matter to people.
Yeah,
because when you do
Hold on, Neil. Go ahead, Matt.
I second that. I second what you just said, Brian.
Yeah, because you're the victim in all this. It's terrible, Matt, isn't it? Being a victim, something inside so strong.
I certainly didn't attack anyone. There's no attack. I don't know what. I didn't
I
hurt
know
Neil.
that
I
you
said
can feel
offended
it.
Neil.
It's doing me
And Neil,
wrong, so
this was
wrong. That's you, the victim, isn't
this
it?
happened
No,
months ago.
Hey, you'll get me a
stop being
copyright
such a
strike. Stop it.
victim. You sang it before. I even broke it up. I even took a pause in between the words.
See, when things are done in chat like that, it's done for a reason. People can read that and continue to read that. If there was new people around, they would see that. Same thing when Lumpy did it. He knew.
And I had the words wrong as well, anyway, Nathan. And I'm sure with my singing abilities, there's not an AI in existence, or will be in existence, that could come up with that song from what I sang. I'm terrible.
Matt, I don't know how you don't see that what you said to him is an attack. I think what you said to him was an attack.
Dude, Neil attacks all the time. And if Neil gets attacked, what's the problem?
That's not the point.
Who's speaking now? Who's that speaking to, Matt?
Me, Bushel.
Oh, so now you're doing the I'm on your side gig, is it? Give me a break. Yeah, stop trying to.
Dude, you're freaking weird, dude.
That's
What are
like
you?
me
I'm
trying
not
to.
talking to
That's like
you.
me
Why are
trying
you?
to. That's like me trying to pretend I'm interrogating Neil when I'm totally on the inside.
Oh, I forgot you have a little crystal ball over there. You can read my mind and stuff. That's cool.
I don't need a crystal ball for this kind of nonsense.
But the way it came in, Bush.
No, dude. Let me talk to Matt real quick.
Yeah, leave him talk to
Matt,
Matt.
you just
This is the whole
wait,
game. Watch
dude,
it. Watch it play out. This is how they're trained.
You go ahead, Bushel. You talk to Matt.
Because you just said, Matt, that you didn't attack him, even though when Neil said what you said to him in chat was obviously an attack. Does that mean that when you said sorry earlier that you're actually not sorry for what you said to him? Because I think you should really honestly apologize if you said that to him.
I did apologize to him.
No,
Neil,
but when you apologize, you said, I'm sorry for...
Neil's not innocent in this. Neil's hands aren't clean in any of this. Neil has constantly done shit like this to me, bro. He don't like me, which is fine.
Well, okay, so
But
tell me when I've ever done anything to you.
Neil, oh my God.
Tell me when I have done something to you. Tell me. I'm telling you when I did. You came up with some story with Nathan on a show, and I blamed you for it. Totally in the United States and Nathan in the UK, but I blamed you for what happened at Nathan's meeting, whatever it was. That makes sense, Matthew, really.
You tried to get me run off with Nathan's meeting for some reason. I have no idea what that was about. You tried to get me run off because of Paula. You constantly taking shots at me, dude.
I try to get you run off because of Paula. I have no idea what you're talking about.
That story is changing, Neil. Just go with it. Next it'll be you said something bad about my cat. You know what I mean?
So it wasn't nefarious.
You insulted my fridge.
So like I said to him, instead of him coming to me like a man and saying, what's the issue? Like I immediately done when I seen that in chat. I was noticing little digs. I didn't know where it was coming from. But when that hit, I had to address it. And he kept responding like a little cheeky bastard in chat. But then when I was able to get him on a call like the other night, and I left my number in chat, a stranger sent me a text and said, it's really not smart to leave your real number in chat. And I said, I don't know who you are, but this was from one person. That was for Matt to get and to call me. But he didn't. Why didn't you, Matt?
Because, dude, I don't want you to have my number. Why would I want to give you my phone number? I don't trust you.
They have things that can block your number. Really? Matthew, you're a piece of shit.
No swearing.
You're a piece of turd that deserves to be washed down a drain with a hose. You're nothing. You're a nobody.
Get it all out, Neil.
What the hell's going on in here today?
Yeah, can we move on from this family feud?
Not a family feud. That piece of shit ain't in my family. You could believe that.
He's your brother.
He's your brother. My brothers helped me. All right? They didn't sit there and chat taking shots at me.
Okay, Neil.
Don't pretend you're not enjoying this, Matthias. This is the most you've piped up in weeks.
And because I've been server muted for weeks. Huh, what a real shocker that is, huh?
Why is that? Why is Matthias server
Oh, God,
muted?
I wish I hadn't said anything. I'm so sorry.
But why is he server muted? Matthias is a very, he's a guy that has some deep thoughts, and I like hearing from Matthias. Sometimes he gets carried away with the swearing.
Oh, that's my bad. I find him incredibly tedious, and I told them to server mute him. My bad.
Oh, okay, I can't argue with that.
That's just a joke.
No,
Matthias.
The king has spoken.
I mean, Neil, I
Joking.
personally don't like Matthias. So.
Yeah,
I'm dead
Nathan,
serious,
why can't we just belittle? Oh, sorry, Eli.
No, I'm dead serious.
I mean,
Can you not interrupt Eli? Sorry, tell us who else you don't like, please.
No, I mean, as far as I know, definitely him.
Well, I think what's
and
important
both Mats. Yeah, both Mats, actually. Screw them both.
In the interest of fairness, I dislike all of you equally.
It must be the name Matthias or Matthew.
I mean, to be fair, me and Neil has even had our ups and downs. And I mean, do you want me gone, Neil?
I do dislike you slightly
Absolutely
less
not,
than Neil.
Matthias.
So,
I don't think that was a fair and reasonable comment by Neil. I don't think that was fair and reasonable, Neil. I love it.
See what you've caused, Brian.
Well,
I couldn't hear Neil's answer.
all I know is that Matthias, his statement there a few minutes ago was an attempt to belittle the situation as if it's a nothing.
It's not that he finds it funny. I know, Matthias.
No, he said,
can we
call it family feud?
Yeah, this amuses him. This is exactly it's projection. He's enjoying this like he'd enjoy watching a game show, right, Matthias?
If you say so, Nathan. I mean,
Yeah,
you're never wrong.
I do. I did. I just did.
Weeks ago.
Yeah,
you did admit you was wrong a couple weeks ago. My bad.
You're enjoying this. Just admit it.
No, I'm actually would rather have everybody have fellowship and communicate in a peaceful manner. I know sometimes I myself do not practice that.
Sometimes.
Ah, I see. So when we behave in this way, you're saying actually it makes you feel slightly introspective and therefore bad for yourself because you behave like that. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know what introspective means, to be fair.
Come on, Matthias. You know what that means.
It doesn't matter.
I seriously don't.
It's good. Let's leave it that way and move on.
Cool.
Well, glad we did this. Same thing next Thursday, perhaps?
Well, I was shocked because I did think that there would be a little more juice in the politics server today. What are you going to do? All the ballers are gone. So what we have here is supposedly flat earthers attacking other flat earthers. And not for something that they said as far as, the sun going over their head changes the outlook of the earth. It's something that happened, and because people donated, they decided that they were going to take shots. So this is what you have now. So my thing is, why are you here?
Dude, I'm staying here and you're not running me off. You, Adam, and Brian. Live with it.
See the way there's three of us involved there now. Whereas the other night, it was you and him, Neil. I asked I asked Matt, like, what? There was no attacking there. Like when I asked the question, I just asked, why did you say that to Neil? And suddenly he attacked me and Adam. So it's.
But look, you're over-explaining.
It's all ye three. It's the three ye.
Man.
It's all the three ye. It's the three ye. It's all ye three. You three guys. You three guys. You're
Hold on, Brian.
My problem,
One
Brian,
second.
is you over-explain. He literally just did and exposed himself. I was looking for the others to go, see, so you did. But you came in and had to re-explain it. And it took the feeling out of it. I wanted Nathan to, like, smack his ass.
Eli.
He just said he didn't do that. An hour ago. He just said that.
Eli.
He did.
Eli.
He did say, you're right.
Eli. Hello. I was told
Neil,
that.
What do you think about that? Nathan,
I was told
did you see how you just did
Brian
that?
and Neil don't want me here. So, but I'm staying.
No, that was after the fact. See, he's doing what you said he was doing after he did what he did. See, man, he should not be in this server. Why do we allow people like this around us? Like, it's crazy because the thing that I hate most is we literally sit and talk to retards when we should be talking to better people. And then we got retards around us that we know are retards that would just rather have us lose our shit. Like, this is the type of person people probably go to jail for. Not for doing anything negative to him, but he riles people up. You know what I mean? When they don't need to be riled up. But he's just an idiot.
I'm starting to think you've got previous. Have you got previous, as we say in Britain? Eli, have you got previous?
I guess so. I'm just going to go ahead and say
yeah. Finding things out about you.
I'm thinking you mean previous examples of this.
No, previous criminal history.
Oh, I missed that one. No, but what's funny is this. We all know what this is coming from with him. It was the thing with AI. But it's funny that Eli is fine with Brian and is fine with Adam, right? And Eli was on the side of AI, but it seems like this dude now wants to just continue it when it seems like the waters had stilled and everything was getting back to normal and there wasn't shows like
we
that.
can't make all those deliberations, Neil.
No, but it's obvious what he did. He said the word boverism.
But all we know for definite is that he attacked the man when the man was down and he lied about it afterwards. Then he used the term that was obviously directed while addressing me and Adam. That's obviously connected to a different argument me and Adam have recently had with someone else. So I don't know what's going on here, but I know this Matt is definitely not an honest guy and is stirring up trouble. Now, I can't say anything to Righteous or Nathan or anything. They're in charge of what they're in charge of. But I wouldn't tolerate that kind of rubbish for a moment.
I'll have a word with Righteous.
Okay, well, you do that. Because I like being in this server, and Righteous does a good job of running it, and I trust his opinion on these things. But he's certainly approachable and will be appealed to by you, I'm sure. But we're in politics for most of today. Had we been in this server all day, would this have been the discussion? Perhaps.
Only when I hear his voice pipe up, because it you know when it's like a woodpecker, you hear that voice and it just like.
No, you can feel the smirking. You can feel the smirk.
Yep.
I'm not going to disagree with that because I can hear it literally. I can hear it.
Are you going to be in the politics server tomorrow, Nathan?
Yes.
Or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought you usually use in the EA server on Thursdays.
Not usually, anywhere. I mean, other than politics in the last year, I've been in there typically on a Friday. You're not wrong. But today I just wanted to catch them off guard a little bit.
I see.
But I mean, it's nice to be welcome. It's nice to be welcome in lots of servers. But my panel isn't very happy with this server at the moment because of certain people's presence. I'll hopefully be able to mitigate that.
No, Nathan, that's a misrepresentation. I have no problem with that server. I have no problem with Righteous. It's just I've stated as me, right? If I was in that position, which I'm not, then I wouldn't tolerate that kind of
No, fair
nonsense.
enough. You did say that. That's
Now,
wrong.
if someone else decides to do that,
No, fair enough.
who's in charge of the thing, grand, but I didn't point the finger at Righteous and say anything.
No, you didn't.
But the
point it at
finger
me
was
either.
also pointed towards you.
You're right.
just in case, yeah.
I've read between the lines inappropriately. I apologize.
No,
You didn't say
now
that.
you've really read between them.
What?
Now you've really read between them, as opposed to the misrepresentation you just gave out there.
Okay.
You know what? You know what can happen? We can continue having these types of arguments with some group of people who continually start this nonsense for no reason, with people on the panel and other people in our vicinity. We can continually have that and not be talking about the topic, because isn't that what ballers would want to have happen? So why are we talking about this? Why is this thing even a thing when we're supposed to be talking about the topic, but we're not going to be talking about the topic? We're not going to be talking about what's important. We're going to be focused on this stuff, because this is stuff that's been made to be focused on.
And that's why I say it's nefarious, because if that was the case, say the tables were turned and I did that, and I sincerely didn't mean anything, I would be like, when it was brought to me, I'd be like, oh, shoot. What a freaking, I didn't even realize what I did. Neil, I'm sorry. Or whoever I'm dealing with. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to be that way. Forgive me. Or whatever words you're going to use. That wasn't the case. So there's something nefarious going on here.
Neil, you just threatened to murder me and wash me down a pipe.
I don't know if
What
Did anybody hear me say the word murder?
Definitely
Did anybody hear me say the word murder?
I mean,
no. He did describe you as a turd.
Refrigerator.
What are you trying to do here, Matt?
Yeah, that was a blatant
What do you mean?
misrepresentation.
What are you trying to do
He
here?
said I was a turd. I thought he was
putting murder on my plate.
Dude, you've constantly threatened me the whole time. I don't understand. Like, how am I?
I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm going to stay here anyway. I don't understand what I said to you when I wrote that in chat. I wasn't meaning to belittle you.
Look at
I'm
your
sorry your
behavior
wife's
right now.
seen it.
One day we have to evolve and get past seeing the labels of people who call themselves flat earthers and people who call themselves globers. And here's my point, Nathan, you've wasted so many hours past the initial point that you'd already won over the audience, talking not to globers, but to anti-flat earthers. And what they do is they suck the energy out of the show.
Who's
I
the
didn't know how else
anti-flat?
to tell you. I didn't know how else to tell you that, because it's a show. You want to keep it going, whatever. The same thing happens in politics when I'm not there, but I shut that stuff down quick. If I put a point to you 3 times and you're invincibly ignorant, you're out. Because I don't know what I'm dealing with at that point. Demonic stuff, whatever it is, I don't care. There are people that really need help. These people siphon off our inner. We're still letting him do it an hour and a half in. How is that not demonic? We don't live forever. We got a job to do.
Exactly, Eli. Exactly. It's a complete waste of our time and our energy, and it is not productive in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't attract people to the show who are interested in the topic. It only attracts people to a show. It only attracts people that want drama and like listening to drama. That's about the only people it will attract. We're getting our time wasted left, right, and centre.
So what do you want me to do? I've got 2 choices. End the show. Well, 3 choices. I could go to a different server. Or appeal to Righteous. What do you want me to do?
That's on you, Nathan. It's your show. You make your decisions.
Yeah, well, this is our
What's the
resident
point?
server.
It's not up to me to make a decision for your show, or a decision, or Eli for your show. It's your show.
Well, I was just putting that out there for the consciousness of our team, because this is a very strong team. Something like this, I don't know how many times this kind of cohesion comes around. But when it happens, we do amazing things. We're writing the best book on earth, for God's sake. You guys, I'm happy to be here. Whatever, right? But you can't undo all of the time that we have wasted over the years that I have clearly pointed out. You make a point, it's beautiful. The audience is won over. You spend the next 2 hours doing it, cutting us off over the years. We hate it, but we stick by it because it's like, whatever, what else are we going to do? But the bottom line is, me addressing it now, moving forward, I would only hope that we could all make better decisions and force better conversations, not by staying in places that, because we feel like, well, this is what we got. This is the best we got. I don't even like Righteous, man. Why? Because he allows shit like this. That's why I stopped debating in FED. FED should have been the place that 24/7 is now. 24/7 is what it is because of me, QE, Chocolate, FE Jedi, Miggy, Indio. I mean, I could name Memeless. I could name 100 people right now. But the bottom line is FED should have been that. And it's not, because the leaders, like yourself, think that Righteous should just be able to do whatever the hell because it's his server. Well, you should have left and picked a better one.
Okay, I'll take that on board.
I hope you're listening.
I am listening. I can't do anything else. I'm going to round out, though, on that note. So with that, another huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible. And, of course, a massive thank you to all of you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
That's about me.